Big T, what else you got?
Well, this is a hard pivot. I don't know if we want to save it for the end, but you played flag football with Drew Brees growing up?
Yeah.
How was
He was
he awesome?
he was awesome.
Welcome back to another episode of Macrodosing. Today is Thursday. It is April 16th. Hope you got your taxes in yesterday. Today's episode is brought to you by Shady Rays. Quick Shady Rays story. This is a true story. I do have a pair of Shady Rays right here, by the way. These are some brand new ones. I forget what model these are, but I really like them a lot. The red. I'm trying out a new look this summer. What do you think about the red?
It goes well with the hat.
Thank you. I love these new Shady Rays. But true story about them. 2 days ago, or maybe it was 2 days ago, I was sitting in my living room and I thought to myself, it is time to reload on sunglasses because as I've said, I probably lose more sunglasses than 99% of the population. So I logged on to shadyrays.com. I did enter promo code MACRO on shadyrays.com. I got a big discount on my order, and I don't want to say how much money I spent on Shady Rays. Because they do send us free sunglasses from time to time here. But I spent hundreds of dollars on Shady Rays using promo code MACRO 2 days ago just to full reset for the summertime. Different models, different styles. I'm going to be good to go. They're actually premium sunglasses, and I'm not exaggerating. They feel every bit as premium as the expensive brands out there. So if you're wearing Shady Rays, if you're wearing them on a lake, on a boat, to the game, on the job site, you can wear them confidently because if you drop them, if you break them, if you lose them, they replace them. If you sit on them, they replace them. And they've got the polarized lenses that cut the glare hard. I did polarize, I think, on just about every pair. So go to shadyrays.com, get a pair, and get sunglasses with lost and broken protection. And here's the deal. With Shady Rays, we're doing an exclusive offer. Go to shadyrays.com, use code MACRO, 40% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. That's 40% off. Use promo code MACRO. Get 40% off 2 or more polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. They should be arriving. I can probably track really easily where they are. I would imagine that they're going to be arriving maybe by the end of the week. So maybe by next week on Macrodosing, you will see I'll start wearing the new pairs, and you can see for yourself. They are great shades. I'm pumped to get them, and highly recommend. Use promo code MACRO at shadyrays.com.
I wasn't planning on starting the show this way, but you brought something up about tracking. I learned something yesterday. Did you know that like the shipping carriers they're notified how many times you check a tracking number? And apparently if you check a bunch of packages a lot, that's an indicator that like you're shipping drugs or something. I obsessively track every package that I know is coming to my house. Now it said 99.9% of people, they don't care because they know that's not what's happening. But if you apparently are like shipping and receiving enough stuff and you're checking it a bunch, that it flags something in the system and it tells them to like look into your stuff.
I had no idea about that.
Me neither. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but
I do know that there's like various algorithms that track a lot of different activities to try to determine like banks, for example. Like a lot of banks track if you it's probably a lot different now because times have changed, but I know back in like the 2010s, maybe late 2000s, if you bought a lot of stuff at like CVS's or Walgreens or like local drugstores, if you had a certain pattern, it would get flagged as potential methamphetamine behavior. Like if you're buying Sudafed at a lot of different places. So like, banks, in order, because they have a lot of regulations that they have to follow too, in terms of like, they're not supposed to just take money from whoever and not ask any questions. If there's a reasonable expectation that they could figure out that somebody is like laundering money or involved in illicit drug sales, they're supposed to like kind of monitor that stuff. So, but now you're saying that if you check,
I assume it would
status,
have to be a ridiculous amount of times and on a number of packages for you to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if there's something I want that's coming to my house, I'm checking it multiple times a day.
Yeah, me too.
I know when it gets to Elk Grove Village, Illinois at the processing center. I know when it's on its way here. I know everything.
Yeah, I do check. I check a lot, especially if I do like fast shipping.
Also, people steal shit off your porch, so
That is true, but that's mostly just my clothes. And I think they learned their lesson last time when they opened it up, and they're like, "There's just a million tracksuits in here."
the Napoleon jumpsuits.
The Napoleon jumpsuits, yeah, that's not. I don't think that's the high ticket item that they were hoping for. I did. Speaking of retail therapy, I did spend also a fair amount of money this morning. I had a big time. I'm never going to financially recover from this moment when I woke up this morning.
But you probably will.
I might. I probably will recover from it. But it's a fun meme.
Yeah, good meme.
The Commanders released new uniforms this morning,
Mm-hmm.
and so I saw that, and I was like, I will 100% buy the new uniforms. Great job by the Commanders. Let me just say that. Like, we've had some pretty terrible PR with that franchise going back about 30 years or so. They hit one. They had a fastball that was grooved right down the middle of the plate, and they knocked it out of the park with the uniform redesign. It's just essentially what they wore for about 40 years. They just kind of went back to the old uniforms. So they look awesome. Great job. The new uniforms, and by new, I mean like after the Commanders rebrand. So the uniforms that we've had for the last 5-6 years were probably the worst in the NFL. And I think most people would agree with that. But the new ones, very nice. So good job. I had no choice but to log on this morning. There is one point that people are bringing up online that I find myself somewhat agreeing with when it comes to the uniform redesign. Do you know what I'm about to say?
No.
I'm not sure that the W with a spear logo through it, I don't think that's physically possible.
Some guy did it with the straw.
Yeah, but then you can look at it. It depends on what angle you look at it from. So the W is supposed to be three-dimensional. And if you look at the W like the W is pointing out to the left, I don't know that the spear can go through it that way. Somebody did reenact it and recreate it with a piece of folded paper showing how the W weaves around a straw, which I see, and I think that there's some truth to that. But then if you change how you look at the W and you look at the W as if it's coming out and to your left.
Out and to the left.
Yeah, so like if...
Okay, so look. So it goes over. Imagine this is the paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
It goes over this part,
Yep.
under this part,
Yep.
over this part, under again.
Right. That makes sense. But if you're thinking of the W as being like a three-dimensional tent that's pointing out that way, that part of the spear, and this is bad podcasting because I'm just saying this and that, but the second part of the spear, the part of the spear that's in the middle of the W, should not be overlapping that piece of the W.
You're saying it should alternate
It
the
should.
ones that it's over and under?
The bottom line is I'm not entirely convinced that the W with a spear redesign is physically possible. I get nervous when I look at it. It gives me anxiety when I look at it. But maybe if you're a player on the other team, you're looking at that W the whole time and it's making you feel uneasy too.
Yeah.
Art of War.
I like it. I think it's solid.
I do too. I like
I
it.
think it's a really good redesign. So great job to the Commanders.
How many jerseys you buy?
I bought 2 this morning.
Oh, you made it sound like you bought 8.
Oh, well, I'm not done. But here's the thing, and this you can maybe call me conceited for this, but I don't think that I am. I got a text from one of my friends on the Commanders, and he was like, "Hey, what's your address?" This was like, I don't know, a month ago. And it was right along the same timeline as when they said that there was going to be a uniform redesign. So I gave him the address of the Barstool Sports office here. So I'm thinking there might be. I'm thinking that there.
Why did you give him your address?
Of the Barstool Sport. I mean, like people send us
I feel like you do that to people like you're unsure of what they might do
Oh
to
no,
you or
I'm
send
not
to you.
unsure. I'm just saying like he asked me for the address, and so I gave him the address.
Oh, I thought he asked for your address. I got you. My fault.
And also, I usually do give out the office address just in case like it gets dropped off at my house and somebody
You
takes
do
it.
have a thievery problem.
I do have a thievery problem.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah,
So
fair
I
enough,
gave him the office address, and So I'm thinking that there might be something for me in the next day or two. So I don't want to buy too much just in case that's what they sent me.
It's fair.
Does that make sense?
So you got a Jaden, presumably.
No.
Did you get like the punter?
I have a Jaden I have the white Jaden from last year when the white jersey was,
okay.
that was their
The same
alternate
one.
last year.
And you have the LSU one.
I have the LSU one, and I've got the old burgundy from Jaden, which that wasn't even burgundy. That was like a red uniform that we had. It sucked. I'm so glad that they're done. But so I did not buy Jaden. I bought a burgundy Luke McCaffrey, and then a black Mike Sanristril.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like maybe my next one up might be a black Sean Taylor. My problem with that is, like, Sean Taylor's my favorite football player of all time, and I want to buy his jersey. The black Sean Taylor jersey is going to be very intimidating. I don't know that it goes with my vibe.
It doesn't bother you at all that he didn't wear that?
See, that's the thing.
Like, you could do one of the other colors.
Right. That's the thing I was thinking was, well, because I already do have a white Sean Taylor and a burgundy Sean Taylor.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he never wore the black one, so it's just kind of like, that part is a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think I'm badass enough to wear a black Sean Taylor uniform. I feel like that's a jersey that if you wear, you have to be willing and able to back it up with violence if necessary. Right? Like, there's a few uniforms like that. If you're walking around town wearing a Bill Romanowski uniform, you have to have your head on a swivel ready to knock somebody out.
Bill
Ron
Roman,
Artest.
that's a throwback name.
Yeah, but not the world peace one.
Correct.
I would say the Aaron Hernandez Blue Patriots uniform.
Sure.
If you're wearing that one, you have to be willing to go to prison.
Dennis Rodman.
Rodman jerseys, you got to be ready to throw down as well.
Any Raiders.
I got a
jersey.
Rodman sweater.
Yeah, Raiders jersey, because it's like you're representing the fan base
Yeah.
as a whole when you put on the silver and black like that. Those are probably the big ones, I would say. All right, well, welcome back to Macrodosing. It's good to see you guys. We have a cool interview coming up later on in the show with the director and star of Everyone's Lying to You for Money, Ben Mckenzie, and his friend Dave. His friend Dave, also from the film. And you can see it. I think it's playing in select theaters right now. Probably should be streaming soon. But we got a chance to take a look at it. And really good movie. It's about crypto. And Ben's a fascinating guy. So we got a chance to talk to him. I think it was a good interview. And before we get to that, we got some other stuff in the news to talk about today. Big T, where on this list do you want to start?
I was going to ask you, would you like to start with Clavicular, Allbirds becoming an AI company, or Colombia killing all of Pablo Escobar's hippos?
Okay. All three of these, I think I might have a controversial take on.
Wow, really?
I think so. I might go 3 for 3 on these.
Let's start with Clavicular.
Okay. My take on...
Can you explain to me who Clavicular is?
Oh, my goodness. I'll do my best. So Clavicular is a guy, we've talked about him once or twice. He's the looks maxing ambassador.
He would hit his face with the hammers to make himself look better.
His whole thing is like,
I know.
is like to make himself look perfect. And
But what is looks maxing?
Just trying to-
I can give context clues.
Trying to
it's what it sounds like.
be as attractive as you possibly
Yeah.
can, to by any
Okay.
means necessary, aka hitting your face with hammers.
Does he really do that?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it on like clips. I don't watch his streams, obviously.
Yeah, so
but-
he's also a streamer. So he's one of these guys who just they just follow themselves around with a camera like all day, every day, and they're live. And last night he overdosed and went to the hospital, and it was all just live on camera. Like he and his buddies were sitting in a booth that looked like in a club or something, and he just starts like nodding off, and the guy sitting next to him is this comically like just roided out guy, and he's looking at his friend like clearly something very bad is going on. He goes, "You need an Addy? You need an Addy, bro?" And then
Adderall.
yes. And then at some point, they took him to the hospital, and he tweeted this morning that he was released.
So I have a I have a take on it. It's going to be a bummer take. Just a heads up.
That this shouldn't be content.
Well, ideally it shouldn't be, but that cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, I mean, that's
it's
not
gone.
up to us.
It is content. It's pretty clear to me that Clavicular has body dysmorphia, and that he will
has a lot going on,
and he will never be happy. He needs drastic mental health treatment, because like it's no different what he's doing than a young woman with a severe eating disorder that is just not going to get better and will turn to self-destructive behavior unless they get therapy and they do like years of work on themselves mentally. It's pretty clear that Clavicular has some bad body dysmorphia problems that he needs to just like probably needs to log off for a while, because the chat's probably not going to help with him getting over any of that stuff, and it's affecting his worldview on just how he sees everybody else and everything, and he's self-medicating, and it's going to end really bad for him unless he gets help. That's kind of my.
I think I despise you guys for
I'm sorry.
introducing me to this character.
Like, I'm sure your older daughter, like, is aware of this.
I'm gonna text her right now.
100%.
You know who?
What was the thing he said? There's
right.
no way she would know, and she did.
I can't remember, but like,
It was something.
I think he's super popular with like kids and teenagers. Did you also see Big T, his 60 Minutes interview?
Yeah, he stormed out of a 60 Minutes interview the other day when they started asking him about
was an
Andrew
incel.
Tate.
60 Minutes interviewed a looks maxing Clavicular.
That's correct.
But it wasn't like
Yo, let me off.
It was
let me off of this shit.
It was an interesting look. It was 60 Minutes Australia, and it was an interesting look at and I don't want to put a diagnosis on this kid. I think he might be a bit neurodivergent.
Mm-hmm.
And it is really interesting to see him interact in a situation where he is not in complete control of what's happening. Like, if you watch 60-minute clips, there's two that went viral. One is of him walking out because the interviewer asked him about his relationship to Andrew Tate, because he's been seen with Andrew Tate, and he was like, I didn't want to make this political, and the 60 Minutes guy was like, well, it's not political, it's about Andrew Tate. Then he walks out. The other one is about his relationship to is he an incel / his relationship or proximity to the incel community. And both questions that are very fair in a journalistic integrity type of way. It is very interesting to see this kid like completely like just curl up into a ball when asked any sort of pressing question about it at all. And he is so deeply like over his skis when it comes to the amount of influence that he has versus his wisdom on what's going on of anything. And like, I mean, he literally, Arian, you're gonna like be so upset that these are even words that are coming out of my mouth. The interviewer said, how, like, do you think I should start looks maxing? Like, what do you think? And the guy said, and Clavicular said, well, they must have been over like a Zoom of some variety. And he said, well, I don't know, you're giga far away. It's like, that's just not, those aren't words that come out of people's mouths. And I am someone like to throw on stupid words from time to time. Like, you aren't speaking in English, like you're on 60 Minutes. So I think it's a really interesting thing to see him through like a streaming lens and a, journalistic lens.
PFT is the internet brain rot. It's just kids are just way too online, and that's the world they exist in, and they just exist in an algorithmic cesspool, and they think that's reality.
And the streaming thing takes it to a whole nother level. And again, I feel bad. I fear I think he has talked about how he has some sort of like neurodivergence. I don't want to say he's like autistic or like necessarily, but like he has something going on. And I just kind of believe that his like special interest or something that he hyperfixates on is looks. Like how some people on the autistic spectrum really like bugs or sports facts or whatever it is. I think his is genuinely how he can maximize his level of attractiveness, which is so sad because like that's just obviously not going to get like that's never going to fill your cup.
Yeah.
I know.
Is he one of those incels
Well,
too?
that's what 60 Minutes asked him, and he was like, "Why would you even ask me this? Your last question was about my relationship to women, and now you're asking me if I'm an incel. Like, are you stupid?" I don't know.
So is he one?
What?
So is he one?
I don't know. He refused to answer the question. I don't know. I'm not tapped in on Clavicular enough to know if he is like having sex with women. I truly don't know. Big T, do you know?
No, I know probably less about this guy than you do.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's an incel.
I hate that I know he exists now.
Sorry.
Adults have said this forever, like it was TV, then it was video games and whatever. I am actually very concerned about the type of content that children are consuming these days. Because, I mean, this is very different than even, like, the worst video games. Like, these guys, I'm looking at a tweet right now. PFT, I know you're not a drug guy, but maybe you can help me a little bit. Clavicular's friend Androgenic, that's the roided out guy who was sitting next to him.
Don't play dumb like you don't know Androgenic, Big T.
Androgenic.
That's the guy who was sitting next to him as he was overdosing.
Thank God. Okay, I texted my daughter. I said, do you know who Clavicular is? She said, yes, LOL, why? I said, he got brought up on a pod, and I hate that I know he exists now. I said, do you watch him? She said, Jesus, no.
Okay, good.
That's good.
The kids are all right. She's normal.
But okay, Clavicular's friend Androgenic reveals the quote pentastack Lux Maxers used to stream, which may have led to Clavicular's OD. Here are the 5 drugs
The pentastack
that he lists.
Yo, this sentence that
so
you're
it's just
reading
mixing
is
drugs. Is that what
so
pentastack?
Let's not
So
poo-poo
it's-
the pentastack until we find out what's in it.
read that sentence
All right,
again
one more time,
for me, dog.
all the way through. Clavicular's friend Androgenic reveals the pentastack Lux Maxers used to stream, which may have led to Clavicular's OD.
Totally. I did need to hear it twice to even
Get
figure
the
out what you were
fuck
saying.
out of here.
All right, here's the pentastack: Adderall, ketamine,
Okay.
DXM.
Don't know.
I'm not
what that
familiar
is.
with that.
Yeah.
BDO,
Don't know what that is.
and pregabalin.
No idea. I'm 2 for 5 on the pentastack.
And it looks like they drink it out of a 5-hour energy bottle. I don't know if they're mixing it with 5-hour energy or what the deal is.
What was the first initial one that you said?
DXM?
DXM. Let's see what DXM is. Dextromethorphan. It's Robitussin.
Oh, like
It's
the
like
cough syrup?
yeah, it's like Robotrippin. Okay. Got
Okay,
it.
what's BDO?
BDO drug. Butanediol. It's used in paint strippers.
Oh, good.
I don't think they mean dancers. I think they mean like to take paint off things.
Yeah.
Ingested BDO is converted into GHB. Got it. Okay.
Which is
GHB is a party drug, sometimes known as the date rape drug.
oh,
But
roofie.
but it's different than Rohypnol, but GHB is like a party drug. People use it at like raves and clubs and stuff. I've never done it, but it's like it's a pretty common rave drug, but it can be used for some bad shit.
And
yes.
then this last one, pregabalin, is a prescription medication used to treat neuropathic pain, fibromyalgia, partial onset seizures, and generalized anxiety disorder.
Okay.
It acts by calming overactive nerves.
Okay, so like an anxiety. I'm not a doctor. It does sound like you should not combine all 5 of these things. It sounds like
But it's the pentastack.
sounds like a recipe for disaster. Sounds like
My daughter said he does height maxing by tippy-toeing and sagging his pants to look
I gotta
taller.
start doing that.
I like this is this is obviously such a bad thing that's happening. Like this is the content that children are getting now.
Oh
It makes me like so sad to think that like people like this that are so like morally corrupt and so empty on the inside like are doing shit like that. Like
Yo, wasn't there a movement, PFT, like bring bullying back?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Like, I'm starting to be more and more convinced of this shit because shit wouldn't fly like this back in the day because you would get beat up for doing dumb shit or saying stupid shit. And not all ass whoopings were justifiable, but man, it was some kind of order. It's just I feel I'm old now. I crossed the threshold. Clavicular has put me into the old man yelling at young society now. What the fuck? Oh my, I'm old. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I don't know. I don't know why people like Clavicular. I think what they're talking about with the like incel community is that he might not be an incel, but I think a lot of the stuff that he talks about appeals to people out there that are not having any luck with the opposite sex. I think when he's talking about like looks maxing and here's what you have to do to make women like you. If you don't do this, women will always go for a higher value male than you. Like that type of stuff does appeal to an incel audience or people that are more likely to become incel. So I don't know that he is, but I think that him trying to like drill his own insecurities into his watchers and the people in his chat, I think that does push them down a path that makes them like more likely to become incel and just like hold it against women. But yeah, so my big takeaway is I think the guy he's got body dysmorphia and has some mental illness that he needs to take care of. And probably the last thing that he needs to be doing is like constantly streaming, but that's what he does. And I saw the interview that he did with Adam Friedland where Adam was just like talking to him about his life. And it seems like every second Clavicular is not on a stream, he regrets it. Like he wants to be streaming constantly, which is not going to be good for him. So that's my take on it.
He tweeted this morning, just got home. That was brutal. All of the substances are just a cope trying to feel neurotypical while being in public, but obviously that isn't a real solution.
Okay. All right. I feel like he's being honest with himself.
He then tell me what this means. The worst part of tonight was my face descending from the life support mask.
Okay.
Is he talking about like an oxygen mask? What does that mean?
No, I think my face descending from the life support mask.
Like getting worse?
Meaning that his face got worse because they
saved his life.
He might have been intubated, and so
he's bloated.
Yeah, so he woke up this morning like with saggy skin.
What?
Yeah, he woke up like dehydrated maybe, and his face doesn't look good.
Is his fault? Does he have a dad?
Like in the picture, I have no idea. It doesn't sound like it.
I don't want to cast too wide a net there, but that sounds like some. He didn't have. Shut your ass up in the house. But he might have. I don't know. It's wild.
Says he was born on December 17th, 2005 to a businessman father and stay-at-home mother. Was raised in Hoboken, New Jersey.
Oh, hell yeah.
Attended Seton Hall Preparatory School.
Oh my gosh.
Interesting.
He's 19.
Of course he's from New Jersey.
No, 21.
Braden Eric Peters. He looks like a Braden.
He does.
Braden Eric Clavicular Peters. I suggest a hard pivot from this fucking guy. Sorry, I don't.
Yeah.
Unless you guys, I'm just over him.
I mean, it's sad stuff.
It's sad stuff. I also think right now we're living in a day and age where Frank the Tank's mental health is about 1 million times better than Clavicular's for both being from like the same part of the country and both.
How's he doing with his weight loss?
He's down. I don't even know how much he weighs right now because he's so skinny.
Probably like 280-ish.
I think maybe even less than that. But he's kind of. I don't want to say he's done losing weight because he's not. But the weight loss has slowed because he's lost so much of it, and now he's doing like muscle workouts and strength training and things like that every day. Yeah, I got some inspiration from Frank as well recently. So I've been dealing with like repeated calf strains and muscle pulls in my legs and in my hamstring. I do think it's connected to my back, which by the way, I got an MRI on my back yesterday. Going to find out more about what the issue is with the fused vertebrae that are going on back there. But hopefully get some answers on that soon. But in the meantime, I'm just trying to like stay as active as I can without re-injuring myself. So I decided that every Wednesday, now that the weather's getting nice, I'm going to walk to work and back, which is about like 50 minutes to an hour to get here. So I was all ready to do it this morning, and then it started to rain, and I don't have an umbrella. So I was like, all right, but I do think I should get credit for having every intention of walking to work this morning until I checked the weather app, right?
Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
You could do it tomorrow.
No.
Yeah, but it's a Wednesday thing, like Wednesday walk.
Right.
It's got the W's.
Well, tomorrow you got to be here early.
I got to be here. I'm not going to walk to work at 5 a.m.
Why?
I don't want to be walking.
You would feel safe,
on
right?
the streets of any city at 5 a.m.
Oh, okay. I would feel safe, but maybe that's just me.
Yeah. Are you packing?
Why don't you have an umbrella?
I should buy an
I
umbrella.
like that. I don't do umbrellas either.
Yeah. I only pack.
What do you got? What do you mean you don't have an umbrella?
I mean, if you're a
Get
real
wet for a minute.
Yeah, if you're a real one, you don't need an umbrella. Like, try going to Seattle with people that are about that life in the rain and walking around with an umbrella. They're gonna be like, pussy.
I've never heard of this weather maxing.
Yeah, it's called
I
Did I
do.
do that right?
We rain max.
Enviromax.
No, I use umbrellas, man. It's all weather. Get the sun up off you, get the rain up off you.
But if there's any wind at all while it's raining, the umbrella doesn't even do anything for it. It's still just blowing in your face.
Chicago is a different story. We don't got wind like that here.
Yeah.
You have a point over there.
Yeah, but like,
I mean, I'm sure somebody in Chicago has invented like ultra umbrella where the wind can't affect it like that.
maybe.
PFT is little though. That shit might just take you away.
Whee!
Did you hear the rumors? PFT, you're tapped in with the big time golfers. Did you hear the rumors that LIV might be shutting down?
I did. By the time this episode comes out, we might know more about it.
They're having an emergency meeting.
Emergency meeting going on right now. I got a question for you guys. Did Donald Trump kill LIV Golf? And I say that because
I don't know enough about it.
LIV Golf is funded by the Public Investment Fund in Saudi Arabia, the state investment fund. Money's getting a little tighter. Belts are being tightened in Saudi Arabia over the last couple months with the war in Iran and Iran firing missiles and sending drones and attacking our allies that are nearby, including Saudi Arabia, where there have been numerous attacks, and they're having to expend a lot of money on their own defense over there. They have less money to devote to their sports washing and to their investments in various leagues. That might be a reason why they have to say, like, we can't spend $500 million every year on a golf league that does not bring in revenue.
That's an interesting point.
Think about it.
It is. I don't know. Their money is long.
Right.
I don't know that it would affect it.
They could probably just press the cash machine and just get more money if they wanted to. But I do think that like it's interesting that they started a league that whether or not it made money was not important to them until just now.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not a purist in the sense of like I was against it for any kind of moral reasons. I'm a purist in the sense of like I just want to see the best compete against each other. You know what I mean? And I hope it does end, not for any of those kind of reasons, but just for like, dog, I just want to see Bryson DeChambeau and Scotty go at it every week. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to see that shit every week. I hope this is the case. I don't know though. We'll see.
You know who they just gave a bag to in Saudi?
Who?
Matt Crocker.
Oh yeah?
You know who that is?
No.
Oh, you didn't see this story?
No.
He's the U.S. soccer
director.
I did.
Yeah, okay. I forgot the guy's name. Yeah. He was the guy that was in charge of hiring our last coach.
Yeah.
And yeah, so now I don't know what he's going to they saw his track record over here for U.S. soccer, and they said we want to be in the Matt Crocker business.
Yeah, so he's going to Saudi.
Yeah. Okay, good luck with that. For the record, I would join the LIV Tour podcasting for $100 million. That is the price.
Yeah, I'm out.
That's always been the price, $100 million, and you can get me to do or say pretty much anything. That's it.
Wild.
$100 million, Arian.
Now you sounded like our con.
$100 million is $100 million.
Well, I said take your podcast elsewhere. You said you can get me to do and say anything.
Okay,
Now
all
that's a
right,
different
not
territory.
not
That's- I
not
understand.
do and say anything. I'm saying that I will do a podcast for an audience of Mohammed bin Salman. $100 million.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, 100%. I was in PFT's a warmonger.
Yep. 100 million. Listen, 100 mil is 100 mil.
I'm checking to make sure I'm correct. I believe what you're describing, the Looksmaxer crowd, they call that jester gooning.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Shoot me in the head, dog. Right.
It refers to wasting time by engaging in foolish, low IQ, or obsessive trance-like antics, often as a coping mechanism for social rejection or as a misguided attempt to attract women.
Okay.
So you would be jester gooning for MBS.
For MBS, yes.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning not knowing what looks maxing or jester gooning was, and I was a better man.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Listen, welcome to reality, dude.
Shit is
Sorry to
wild,
educate
dog.
you. All right, what else we got in the news, Big T?
Well, you said you had controversial. I guess we'll go to Allbirds next.
Okay.
They're an AI company now. Their stock at last check was up to like $18 from like $1. It's at $17.94 right now, up 620% today. So they announced that they are pivoting from being a shorts company to an AI company. Now, what that entails, I have no idea.
Okay. Allbirds,
the shoe company?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, no longer.
So I've got a take on this. Maybe we might have some listeners out there that are able to educate me on whether or not I'm talking completely out of my asshole on this one or not. I don't think that they are going to become an AI company, Big T.
Okay.
I think this could be like we saw in the late teens. There were a couple companies that did this that just put the word blockchain in their name. You remember that?
Yeah.
And I think what they were doing, they were trying to pump their price up real quick. I think they were fucking with people that had short positions on their company and putting a squeeze on them. You know how like when AMC and GameStop like went to the moon because there were some institutional investors that had short positions on them and they wanted to fuck up their money. So they drove the price up. I think Allbirds, there might be somebody that's got a short position against Allbirds, betting for their stock to go down and to crater, that they put this press release out to fuck with them, to artificially drive their own price up, to fuck with a person that has a short position. I don't know if that's against the law. I don't know what's going to happen in the long term. And I could be very wrong about this guess that I have. But that's my reaction.
It says they plan to buy GPUs and rent out computing power to AI developers who cannot get access through Amazon or Microsoft.
Okay.
So it sounds like they have like a plan of some sort.
I just don't know what being a shorts company and a shoes company has to...
Well,
do they have the space?
Nobody does.
For GPUs?
I don't know.
They have the server buildings?
Also, their shoes, Bird Dogs is the shorts.
I'm wearing Bird Dogs, the shorts right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Too many birds.
A lot of birds. Yeah, Allbirds is the shoes company. I'm wearing the Bird Dogs right now, which actually got me into trouble at the MRI yesterday.
Why is that?
Well, because I wore my Bird Dogs there, and the nurse came into the room, and she was like, okay, I need you to strip down to your underwear and put this gown on.
It's the double.
And I had to stop her. I'd be like, hey, I kind of screwed up this morning. I'm wearing shorts that have the underwear built into them. Should I just keep the shorts on?
Yikes.
And she's like, nope.
12
Yeah, I know. She was like, nope, but we do have, we've got some shorts that you can borrow.
Yeah, like paper boxers or whatever.
Yeah, then she reached in the cabinet and got the most hilarious pair of, like, it was like if you designed underwear out of a moving blanket. And she's like, you can put these on. I wish I'd taken a picture. They did look, they looked very, very funny. But yeah, that's happened to me a couple times when I've been caught in a situation where I have to like get changed or something. Whether it be for like an ad shoot that we're doing here at Barstool or in this case, in MRI, and I'm wearing the Bird Dogs. I'm like, so here's the thing is I don't have underwear on, but I do have underwear on. I'm not a freak. There is underwear, but it's just, I have to take them off with my shorts. But yeah, so anyways, back to what's going on with Allbirds. I don't think that they're actually going to pivot to becoming an AI company. But the stock is up massively.
It's
right
up
now.
another $1 since we've
Yeah,
been
it is.
talking. Do we need to get in? Is it going to the moon?
I saw one of the funniest tweets about this exact situation. It comes from recurring guest of this pod, Anthony Pompliano. 30 minutes ago, he said, "Imagine thinking the U.S. economy is going to crash while Allbird changes their name to AI and soars 700%. Imagine thinking that Allbirds stock soaring 700,000 or 700% because they changed their name to AI
Could be an indication.
Could be an indication of a bad economy.
Yeah.
Imagine. Can you imagine being that dumb?
Guys, it just keeps going up. We need to get in.
You should do it, Big T.
Should I go buy some?
You should do it. Try to time this market. What is that right now?
18.29. It just went down a little bit.
That's down from its peak already today.
It got up to like 25. I think.
Yeah.
Maddie, can you check our investments?
Oh yeah.
Been a while since we.
What do you think about this one, Arian? About Allbirds?
I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. The fact that the stock is soaring because they said they were going to AI is probably not a good sign for us in general.
No.
But I don't know. Let's see what happens. This is just an interesting. And that's what's crazy. Like I got off Twitter, and so I'm not super aware of what's going on like anymore like that. Like, I have my sources of news that I get it from, but like if you miss out like a week of being on the internet, like you just out of the loop.
Mm-hmm.
You out of the loop, and you feel just like it's hard to get back in, honestly.
Hold on, I have to separate it because I have my own stocks on Robinhood now. Not to flex. Okay, so we are up actually.
Okay.
Oh wait, I don't want one day. I want all time.
Now we're going to be down.
No. We are up 10% all time.
Okay.
So $100.
111.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the
10.6.
when are we getting out of this?
When we're on the moon.
I think we let it ride until we're retired.
I say we haven't gotten enough return to.
Well, I know, but it just what's the play? We just check this once every 6 months until this show doesn't exist anymore.
So this show does, and then we empty it when we're done with the show.
Yeah, our peak was $1,384.60.
Oh,
like
we was almost
total.
We was almost up.
And then right now, as we speak, we're at $1,161.
Okay.
So our peak, and that peak, by the way, was January 8th of this year. So whatever was happening January 8th. Shockingly enough, been down a little bit since Middle Eastern tensions have risen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it also took a big peak. I don't know last time we checked it. It took a big spike in middle of November. A reason, again, I am not sure as to why.
and it's NRG.
We have American Airlines. We don't have the best stocks right now, again, for what's going on. American Airlines.
That might be a merger, though.
Oh, yeah, with United. I heard about that.
Man, they said I seen the little thing that they're gonna put, like you can buy out a whole row,
Yeah.
and then they have those little seat things so you can actually like lay down and shit.
We have
I love that.
American
American and
Airlines.
United are merging.
It's in talks.
As a United guy, I disavow. We don't want that.
I agree.
Same.
We don't want that American
I'm a United guy as well.
Same.
Big T anti-American.
right.
Airlines.
We have Apple, Expedia, another. I don't know how they're doing right now with everything.
I still
And
use them.
Apple.
When did we switch? Because originally
Oh.
we did like Qualcomm, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We did stadium sponsors.
Yep.
We switched. I think it was something about the travel industry, obviously. I think it was just like we looked into what was doing well again. That was a while ago, obviously. And then Apple, or do I just have Apple? We might all have Apple together. I might give you guys Apple. And then, yeah.
Do y'all use Expedia?
I do.
I'm still rocking with Expedia.
Yeah. Is that one that most people don't use?
I think so.
I use it to like book hotels.
Is that boomer of me to use Expedia?
I think so, but I like
think
it.
it kind of is.
What do you use it for? Like, what do you book on there?
Everything.
Flights.
Hotel,
I don't book
rental
flights on there.
car.
Well, first,
flights.
Well, how do the people that gesture goon book it?
Google Flights.
Google Flights. What is this? Oh,
you just type
is
in
it a thing?
Google does it. No,
you.
but if you type in Houston to Chicago, they does come up with a Google Flights page.
Yeah. Like Google Flights is like how Google Drive.
But it always gives you the most trash airlines.
Well, you can pick it what airline.
Yeah, but it goes from like load. All you see is
cheapest.
Frontier and
Right.
Spirit and.
But I use Google Flights. I use Expedia sometimes for hotels. But I don't book hotels that often. But yeah, I use Google Flights for all my flights.
Really?
I'm not beholden to one airline at this point in my life. So I like to see what's out there.
well, first I have to drive home. And then after I drive home, I go to my office room and then I log on to the desktop.
Mm-hmm.
And then I type in Expedia.
Do you actually? That's a thing.
And then I buy a flight
That is
on
a
my
thing.
desktop.
That's like boomer.
Yeah, whether
Yeah.
you'll do it on a phone or not.
No, I buy just about everything on the phone.
My fiance won't
Everything.
do purchases over like $100 on a phone.
Yeah, I don't
It's
like
just not the same?
I'm with her.
Well, we
I'm
know.
with her.
It does feel more official when it's on the laptop. You know what I mean?
Flights I do not book on my phone.
Flights, it's so easy though in the app.
Yeah.
On your phone. Just
Like when we booked our honeymoon, I was doing it on my phone and she was freaking out.
Like
She
it
was
might be intercepted.
She was like, "You can't do that." And I was like, "I'm doing it."
You rebel,
Everything
you.
seemed to work.
Yeah, everything big I do on my laptop.
What I wonder the psychology of that.
I sometimes when it's like a flight or something like that, or like a website, if I'm on a website versus an app, if let's say I'm flying and I know I need to fly United, I will just go to the United app. That's a different thing.
Okay, same.
But if I am doing something on a website, like I'm on my Safari app on my phone, no, because the formatting is different, and then sometimes the credit cards, it's all just jumbled up and compressed together.
But your credit card is saved on your phone. You just tap the button and it's done.
I'm not saying it's like, but I'm just saying like the formatting is often like it doesn't work right, and then sometimes it clicks back and then something pops up. I like it when it's on my laptop if it's a website and I can see everything that I need to see and it's clean. It's a cleaner process.
Yeah, like if I did it on my computer, I'd have to go grab my credit card, type in the number.
Don't you have your credit card saved on your laptop too?
No, because I needed to do something for it one time and I just never did it, so it's only on my phone.
Oh, see, my credit card is saved on my laptop too, so then it's like bing, bam, boom, so easy.
Bing, bam, boom.
Right.
Love it.
So big purchases or pretty much any purchase not made on an app, I do on my laptop.
But you could do those on an app.
I know, but sometimes I'm like, again, sometimes I'm just not on the app or I don't have said app on my phone and I'm not going to go download the app to just make a purchase when I can go to type in www.whatever.com.
I will say I downloaded a rental car app for my bachelor party, and it was the worst app ever made. I don't know if the company does business with us, so I won't say it, but horrific app.
Like PFT always says, like there's too many apps.
Too many apps. You need apps for everything.
So I don't.
But if you have an app, it needs to be usable.
I just got a vacuum cleaner the other day.
Don't tell me it needs
the
an
vacuum
app.
needs an app.
I think you're just too
That's
rich.
yeah.
and
That's a
buying-
rich.
Like I think you're just buying rich people things that.
Well,
require it.
I had to download an app in order to print something because I had to get something. What is it called?
Notarized.
Notarized. And I had to print something off. So I have a printer, but I got it for my daughter. But I have to download the app in order to print. So it's just a lot, dog. There's a lot going on.
Is it a robot
apps.
vacuum?
It is, yeah. It's like pretty much a Roomba.
Pretty much. What is it?
It's
is
like
or
a
Control it
different
from the
type
app?
of Roomba.
okay,
Yeah, a competitor to Roomba.
but it's better because you need an app.
No, I don't.
Well, that's kind of lit
I don't
though.
know if
Hold
it's
on, you can
better or
like.
not.
Can you steer it? Can you steer it
I
from
haven't.
the app?
I haven't tried to do that.
Well, the whole point is that you don't have to steer a robot
True
vacuum.
story.
Yeah.
True story. Yeah, true story.
But if you
Yeah.
want it to go get one more spot or something.
I might be able to. I don't know. It's charging right now, but yeah. In the past week, I've downloaded an app for a vacuum. I've downloaded an app for a treadmill here at the office that we have, a walking pad. And then I started to get notifications like 5 an hour from the walking pad. And so I had to just delete the app entirely. So now I have to reinstall the app every time I use the walking pad.
Could just turned off notifications.
I wanted to make a point, Big T.
Why do you need the app to start it?
Yeah.
That's the remote?
Yeah.
Is the app?
Well, there's also a remote, but we have to get the batteries and that whole thing. So I just did the app because the app was right there and I didn't have the batteries for it.
Are you getting notifications from just a bunch of random apps?
No, I've turned off notifications for the ones that I don't need. But this one just made me pissed off, so I was like, I'm deleting the app.
I do no notifications other than phone calls and text messages.
That's probably a smart way to do it.
No other noties.
Probably a very smart way to do it.
When I see people getting just random notifications all day, it gives me anxiety.
My MLB app is doing that now. It's kind of pissing me off. Like I'm not just getting Brewers shit now. Now it's like league news.
Did you get the Kevin McGonigal contract today?
I'm swiping up, so I have no idea. I'm not even looking at it anymore. Man, that's desensitizing me to Brewers news. I need to change it.
I just got two-way Ohtani tonight from MLB. Can he keep it up? Shohei Ohtani carries a 0.00 ERA and a Major League Baseball high 48-game on-base streak into tonight's Mets-Dodgers game. I did not know that Shohei Ohtani had a 48-game on-base streak.
Yeah, but I don't count it.
Okay.
Because it's across seasons. The whole point of a streak is that you're hot. Like, you've been doing it day after day after day. It shouldn't be able to carry over years.
Now, does this count the playoffs of last year? Is that part of the streak?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Okay, so if it doesn't count the playoffs in this streak, then that's bullshit. If it does, if it includes the playoffs and it's every game he's played, I'm kind of in on it. 48 games is a long-ass time.
Yeah, he's one of the greatest players ever. It's great, but the streak is you've been doing it day after day.
You don't count if there's an off season, it's over.
Yeah, that's not a streak anymore. It's a different season.
Okay, you can turn off news from around the league. I just did that. Sorry,
I'm gonna have to do that.
I'm thinking out loud.
All right, Big T. Before we get into the next story, it's brought to you by DraftKings. NBA playoffs are here. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, boosts every game day, the whole postseason. When the lights get brightest, the best players in the world show you exactly who they are. Playoff stars turn it up round by round. DraftKings turns it up too. They got a profit boost available every single game day from the first round all the way to the finals. New sportsbook customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you're going to get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code MACRO so you're ready for the moment. That's code MACRO. Turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Today's episode is also brought to you by Normal. From the creator of John Wick and Nobody comes the new movie, Normal. It's a double-barreled shotgun blast of pure mayhem. It's got Bob Odenkirk playing Sheriff Ulysses. And Sheriff Ulysses is a temporary sheriff in the quaint town of Normal, Minnesota. He's just trying to get away from it all. The new job was supposed to be a welcome respite from recent troubles. But when a botched bank robbery interrupts the peace, a dark secret's exposed. And we're going to find out that Normal is anything but. Directed by Ben Wheatley, starring Bob Odenkirk, Henry Winkler, and Lena Headey. See it only in theaters starting April 17th. That is this Friday, only in theaters. Check it out from Magnolia Pictures. It's Normal. Sounds like a good movie. I love Bob Odenkirk. All right, Big T. Next story.
Yeah, the only other one, are you familiarized with Pablo Escobar's Hippos?
I am.
Yeah, so he brought in, I forget the number, 80 maybe? 170 hippos are currently loose in Colombia, but Escobar brought in a bunch of hippos into his, ranch, And since he has obviously passed away, they have, I guess, just broken contain, and they're kind of just running loose all over Colombia. And so the Colombian government is devoting, I believe, $2 million to trying to implement population control measures such as confinement and relocation before, I think they're just going to have to kill them at some point if that doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Roughly 170 hippos are roaming freely in the country, according to a study published by Columbia's National University. So yeah, they've just got hippos going around. Not the animal you want roaming your villages.
No, I would say, yeah, cull them. I say kill the hippos.
Yeah.
They can't be there. Hippos can't be in Colombia. I'm sorry. I like you, hippos. You got to go.
A top 3 most terrifying animal to see.
Great animals. Or if there's a hippo relocation program, like get them over to Africa, put them in the rivers, their native territory. They can't be here. I'm sorry.
Like if I saw a tiger, I would be terrified, but in the back of my mind, I'd be like, okay, it's a cat. Like you can get it to act like a cat under the right circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Hippo's just gonna eat you. I'm saying there's a one, sometimes you see the videos of the tigers and they're like playing around with people and stuff. Not likely.
In the wild?
No. But I'm just saying somewhere in there is a house cat, somewhere.
I don't think so, dog.
But the hippo,
I like the optimism in the life of that situation. You're like, hey, if I could
just, yeah, we'll hang out. But the hippo, it's got nothing like that. It's just ready to kill you.
Absolutely. I say hippo's probably number 1. The second one to me is a bear.
Bear? Well, not all bears.
It's my number 2.
Yeah, it's true.
It's me. When I see a bear, I'm fucking. That's nothing. I don't like it. Nope. Scary as shit. I think the cat would be more scary though too, because cats are really unpredictable. And honestly, if house cats had the size of lions and tigers, they'd probably kill humans just as easy.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, most of them are assholes.
I think the hippos need to be, maybe just build a fence around them. Can't we just pin them in?
Well, I think they've gotten so loose that they're everywhere now.
Yeah.
Are they predatory like that? Are hippos like predators?
I don't know that they're predators, but they're getting into places that they're finding themselves in situations where they're encountering people, and then they're liable to respond like defensively against people.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
And that's bad.
Hippos ain't going extinct or anything.
Nope.
Like that, are they?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, just kill them. Whatever, just kill them.
Or bring them, or take them back. Why don't we just relocate them?
It's
not the hippos' fault.
PFT, since we've been recording, an article came out in the Financial Times that the PIF is on the verge of cutting its funding for LIV.
So it is going to happen?
It seems that way.
Damn. All right, pour one out for for John Rahm. Pour one out for Bryson.
Brooks.
No, Brooks is back in PGA.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Phil Mickelson.
Pour one out for Phil, for lefty. Pour one out for Dustin Johnson.
Cam
Smith. All the 4 aces. It's a dark day.
So what happens?
It's a dark day in golf.
They got to just let him back, right?
I mean, now the PGA is sitting pretty. Now the PGA can make them sing for their supper.
That's crazy. Sing for your supper.
Yeah.
Wild,
like, hey, you want to come back? You want to come back? You want to play? You want to play at the Travelers, bitch? I need you to get a PGA tattoo over your heart. Show me some loyalty. But they can't
just leave some of the most talented golfers in the world out there, like in the wind.
I think they can.
I don't think so.
I think they've got a lot of leverage right now. I don't think that
they definitely they can make them work for it, but they have to let them back.
Yeah, they'll give them a path to come back. I mean, you remember when Patrick Reed said that he was coming back, and Brooks said that he was coming back to the PGA. They set the deadline. They're like, you got 2 weeks,
right?
To
but
figure
there
it
was
out.
still
LIV. Right, which I'm saying. The people that were on LIV had 2 weeks. They decided not to, and then LIV went out of business, and so now the PGA is like, hey, you kind of made your decision. So if you want to come back, the terms are going to be way, way less favorable to you than they were a month ago.
I think it would be dope to. I don't think they should, but it would be really dope to see him go through like Q school again or something like that. Just make them earn their PGA Tour card.
Yeah,
that'd be fun to watch. Tear up municipal.
Arian, I know you don't follow soccer, but one of the biggest clubs in the world is in serious, serious danger of getting relegated from the Premier League this year. And if it happens, like, they would be playing in the championship, which is the second division, in like one of the best stadiums in the world. They would have to sell their entire team. So that could be a similar circumstance to what you're talking about. Could be interesting.
What's the
Tottenham?
Tottenham. Wow, never even heard that word before.
the Tottenham Hotspur.
In England, they call the main teams the Big Six. Tottenham's sixth on the list, but they're one of the bigger clubs in the country, and they're current. If the season ended today, they would get relegated.
Relegation. That's wild.
It'd be very funny if it happened. Very funny. What NFL team would you equate this to being relegated? It'd have to be a team that, like Tottenham, the knock against them is they've never won the EPL, right?
Yeah, they're big in terms of name recognition, but they don't win anything.
The Cowboys?
I mean, the Cowboys have won it before.
Just back in the day.
The Bills?
Yeah, I was saying the Bills the other day, but
no, because
the Bills aren't like a massive market like Tottenham is. So it'd be like a huge market team.
The Raiders?
Like the Giants?
But
Or
the
the
Giants
Jets?
have won. Yeah, the Jets. Well, the Jets won. Yeah, I guess probably the Jets. But Tottenham's been good.
Yeah.
I don't know that there is an NFL equivalent to it.
Giants might be.
Detroit, maybe?
No, I think it's Jets. They're the second biggest team in their own city.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe third. As are the Jets, the second-rate team in New York. Huge, huge media coverage. Huge. What?
Third in New York.
Oh, yeah. Well,
No,
second
I know.
in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it might be the Jets. Now, Tottenham has been more successful than the Jets recently, but I think it would have to be the Jets. I know there's no way it could ever work, but I am fascinated by the idea of relegation in America.
Same.
I think college sports are the only ones where it could even be feasible.
But it's controlled by the very powerful schools right now.
Right. College sports is a cartel that would never allow that to happen.
It would have to be a startup league.
Yeah.
Have to be like the PGA Tour kind of does relegation.
Yeah. But it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Like, it would be sick if Mississippi State went to the Sun Belt for a year because they, you go 0-8 and 0-9 in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go play here in the Sun Belt, and then
That's actually an interesting little like. You give conferences a chance to play your way into the SEC. That's kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate
then
that idea.
JMU
It's
comes
kinda
for a
dope.
year.
Yeah, dude, we want Bama. We'd fuck up Bama.
I kind of love that.
Imagine
idea.
revenge game, Billy Napier against Florida.
In the swamp.
Yeah, in the swamp. Or no, they might have to come to the Berg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you
The
call
Berg,
it?
yeah. It's better than the Harry.
People have had some interesting concepts around relegation in college football. It would just, the people who make the decisions are the schools that make money, and they would never sign up to make less money. So it'll never happen.
But in theory, it could happen. Do you think that something's going to change and Tottenham's going to figure it out? Like, is there too much at stake for them?
No, I think they're going to get relegated. Because someone, one of the soccer commentators was pointing out, like, if you're a player on Wolverhampton, or because they're in last place right now, like, most of those players don't have relegation clauses. Like, they're on the team next year regardless, so they have no incentive to lose.
Yeah.
All of the players on Tottenham, for the most part, have clauses in their contract that if Tottenham gets relegated,
Okay.
you automatically
Free agent.
Yes. So it's better for them to just lose, and then they can go to a better team next year And then Tottenham's left with they have to get a whole new team for the championship, and they have no money.
Wow.
So for the players don't care. They're not trying to. I mean, I'm sure they're doing their best, but like if they lose, they don't care.
And
Doing me hottest.
What Americans have money invested in Tottenham? Dave Portnoy?
He's a fan.
He is a fan, yeah.
He be hype maxing too.
Yeah, we do.
Tottenham Hotspur owners ENIC, controlled by the Lewis Family Trust, have rejected multiple takeover bids, including a rumored £4.5 billion offer from a U.S.-led consortium fronted by Brooklyn Eric. So they might not have any U.S.
Are they being tanked? Is this an inside job?
I doubt it, because they're still paying off their stadium.
Right, but if you were to, in theory, if you were to tank the team, make them go get relegated to the championship, then the equity of the team, like the value of the team, is drastically reduced, right?
Yeah.
And especially if your players have clauses that say that they can all become free agents, right?
Yes. For those who don't know, like if you get relegated to the championship, you get far less TV revenue, ticket, everything. Like it's a financial nightmare.
And then there's a U.S.-led consortium that comes in, and they buy the team.
But why would the owners want to sell it at a lower valuation?
I don't know, because they're
that doesn't make any
because
sense.
they're worried about losing more money.
But if they wanted to do that, they would sell it right now.
Before the possibility of them getting relegated. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's not unheard of in business practices to try to buy something from a desperate owner.
I think it'd be fun to watch. Granted, they would get worse probably because they would have to sell off their team to pay down debts and get other players. But, like, they would still kick the shit out of most of the teams in the championship.
Now, see, that's a documentary I would watch. Like, Welcome to Wrexham.
Yeah.
Except it's about, like, the opposite.
Yeah.
A massive club going through, like, dog shit times.
Yeah. Well, there was. Did you watch the Sunderland one on Netflix?
No.
So they're back in the Premier League now, but for years they went down several leagues, and they were like a big club. And Netflix did a thing on them 5-10 years ago now, maybe. It's very good. It was before Welcome to Wrexham, but they're back in the Premier League now after many years of toiling in the lower levels.
So what do we think is going to happen with LIV? I don't know that. I think I like what Big T's saying. I think that you have to earn your spot back.
I mean, how many emergency meetings have ever gone well?
Right.
Well, what if this was Trump's whole plan the whole time, and it was just to get the PGA Tour back together? His whole Iran war move was just to get the LIV out of the paint.
I told Cam Smith, I said, we're gonna get you back. He's a great golfer, beautiful golfer.
By any means necessary. Great man said that.
Guess we'll see.
All right. What else we got in the news?
That's most of it.
There's one other item.
Oh, I know you're out on this. You think this isn't happening. There's another guy that disappeared.
There is, yeah.
And this was back. Apparently, this happened last year. I don't know why it's in the news now.
I'll tell you why it's in the news now, Big T.
Because you're okay. Yeah. Tell me.
So the headline that we see on the Daily Mail, shout out the Daily Mail, missing nuclear official becomes 10th person tied to dark pattern surrounding U.S. secrets.
Which is true.
There is a new hack amongst news organizations out there and tabloid publications. It's a new way to ensure clicks on a story. It's called Smart Person Dies.
There have been a lot of them.
Makes you think.
Did you see when he was last seen?
This guy was last seen walking away from the facility, or walking away from his house in Albuquerque on foot, August 28th, 2025, carrying a handgun.
Nothing but a gun.
Yeah.
Never came back.
Never came. Not to be morbid, I feel like that happens from time to time.
It could, but then that leads you to ask why.
Right. Every time somebody that is smart dies in America now, there's going to be a headline being like, another scientist died. What's going on? What's going on?
These
with
guys
that?
have had connections to laboratories and defense contractors and interesting stuff, nuclear stuff.
Right. This guy was a government contractor working for the Kansas City National Security Campus,
which I believe is in Albuquerque.
It's in Albuquerque.
Somehow.
Yeah. But yeah, anytime somebody dies now, it's going to be like a smart person. We lost another nerd. End times are coming.
Listen, enjoy what the government's spoon feeding you. I'm sure they always tell the truth, right?
What is the government's?
That nothing's going on.
I've not been.
And listen, I'm a nothing ever happens guy. I get it for the most part.
What has the government spoon fed me on this one?
Well, just that it's fine. It's just random. They all killed themselves.
The government has not told me that anything's random. The government has not addressed the ongoing epidemic of scientists dying.
Correct.
Yeah.
They're removing themselves.
The only people that have addressed the scientists dying have been like police departments have investigated, and then they tell you the result of their investigation.
You're taking the absence of evidence as evidence of absence.
You are taking the absence of evidence as evidence of a massive conspiracy.
No, I'm not saying I believe this. I'm just saying it's odd.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like the Daily Mail, the New York Post. Now, anytime I read one the other day.
You have closed yourself off to the possibility that something is going on. I have not.
I mean, I think a lot of stuff's going on. I read an article, or it was a tweet the other day about another scientist that died. So then I looked more into it, and it was a guy that died like 3 years ago.
Well, we're just now catching on.
And then they just wrote a new story.
They can't kill them all at once, Eric.
They wrote a new story as if it happened yesterday. It's like, wait, this new story.
Well, because we're putting the pieces together.
Right. We're going back and retroactively see, like, what did we miss the first time?
Oh, sorry, Watergate happened 3 weeks ago. We can't report on it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
What's step 2? Step 1's killing the scientist.
We don't know.
What's
That's the
step 2?
thing.
Gotcha.
We don't know yet.
They're getting too close to the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
We're getting too close to the truth. And so if you're a scientist, like, just watch your back.
Please do.
Scientists might be putting all this propaganda out there too.
Mm.
Because, like, what better way to make people respect the work that you're doing? Because a lot of people have been down on science recently. But what better way to make people have your back than to act like you're an endangered species?
Now, see, I'm open to this possibility as well. This could be Big Sci.
It could be Big Sci. Being a scientist is the most dangerous job in America. Do we have flags? Do we have any of the, like, the thin blue line, the thin red line? Do we have any flags for scientists?
What should it be?
I think just glasses on the stars.
I was going to say a beaker.
Yeah, beaker instead of stars.
50 beakers.
50 beakers, yeah. All right. What else we got today?
I think that's all I had. We got Ben Mckenzie coming up.
We do have Ben
Good
McKenzie
interview.
coming up. Interesting fella. And his buddy.
Dave.
Buddy Dave. Shout out Dave, who's also in the movie with him. Arian, you got anything you want to get? Oh, I do have one more thing.
Shoot.
Arian, you're going to be interested in this, I think. Yesterday I learned about a thing in Australia that maybe the first thing that I've heard about in Australia that will not kill you. It's actually something that sounds awesome. It is a golf course that runs across the entire southern coast of Australia. It's called the Nullarbor Links.
The what?
Nullarbor Links.
Nullarbor.
Nullarbor. Nullarbor. Nullarbor Links. So it is a golf course that is, I think it's like 1,300 kilometers and 850 miles, whichever way you want to go with it. But it's not like the entire course is that long. It's a highway that runs through the middle of nowhere, going across the southern coast of Australia. And it goes through the outback, and it's a series of towns that are along this highway. And each town has its own hole. So, like, some are par 5s, like 500 yards. Some are par 3s, 170 yards. But it's 18 different towns. It would take you 3 to 5 days to drive the entire length of the highway. And you play one hole in each town that you stop through. It's pretty cool.
just as like a destination if you're visiting Australia.
It's a way to break up the monotony of what could be just like a long road trip filled with nothing. It's like, yeah, we have one golf hole in each of these towns.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It's
dope.
pretty cool. I'm not saying that I would like to go to Australia and then play the Nullarbor Links, because that would be like a day and a half traveling down there, and then you'd have to go to like the middle of nowhere. Maybe not that, but I think the United States should do one of these across our great country.
That would be dope, actually.
And so there's a couple different highways I thought about. One would be Route 66.
That's like the most famous, oldest.
Yeah,
one,
if you did a highway of 18 golf holes across Route 66, that would be awesome. The other one would be I-10. So if you go all the way from Jacksonville, you go along the Gulf Coast, go through New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Houston, San Antonio, El Paso. I think that probably takes you through does it take you through Albuquerque?
New Mexico.
Albuquerque, Phoenix, Los Angeles. Like, you could probably have a pretty sick ass 18 holes along that route, right?
Yeah, that'd be dope. That you could do I-5 too, all the way up the coast, all the way up the coast of California, all the way up to Washington.
True. So with the old Route 66, I'm looking at it right now. It starts right here in Chicago. We could get to where you think if we built like the first hole in Chicago, if that would start the movement, and then maybe it looks like it might go through Springfield, Illinois. St. Louis is right there. You think that would start the movement? Like, be the change we want to see in the world?
That would be, I think, because golf is taking off now, so that would be a dope little project for community building.
Yeah.
I think it'd be dope.
I'm looking at it right now. I think we could probably do this. But how do we coordinate it? I don't know.
It's tough.
It's a lot of driving.
Getting people to agree on stuff.
It'd be a lot of driving, but I feel like people would do it. I just need to talk to somebody that's got land in Illinois along Route 66, and maybe we can get to work on this.
Say, loan me like 300 yards,
Right?
For a par 4.
Right. I mean, how much could it possibly cost to keep one golf hole in shape like year round?
It would have to be like communally. The maintenance would be communal.
Set up a mowing schedule. Yeah. How much does a lawn, like a golf course lawnmower, cost? That's really the main expense.
It's the watering, I thought, too. The watering.
Yeah. I think we would have to have people hit off mats, right?
Yeah.
It's really...
Yeah, because upkeep on a tee box would get... It's too constant.
Yeah, so you'd have to hit off the mats, and then we just need to keep up the greens and a fairway. Maybe have one bunker as well.
It would be dope. I'm on board. Okay. Speaking of which, I shot a 77 yesterday.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, man. Golf game's trending up, dog.
Pretty impressive, Arian.
Congrats.
Handicap. Thanks, brother. Handicap is now 6.6.
Okay.
We need to add a 10th to that.
Add a what?
6-7.
Oh, I thought you were doing a 666.
That would be 100th.
It's not dying.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, I'm excited about the golf game, man. I have a game today, actually. And then next week, I have the tournament again with the pro.
Where is that one?
I'm placing in that bitch. It's at PGA National in Florida.
Nice.
Yeah, should be fun.
I've got the handicap police on my ass, on my bumper.
About your 110 take?
Well, yeah. No, some people have taken to looking up my publicly available handicap, which is available online, and completely ignoring the fact that at the start of this whole thing, I was discussing how right now my handicap on the GHIN app is different from my handicap on 18 birdies, which is actually below 18 on 18 birdies. But I acknowledge that 18 birdies handicap is not 100% legit. I've just had to play a couple courses that have been outside the scoring season on the GHIN, so I could only log them on the 18 Birdies app. So I was saying somewhere in between is probably a fair representation of what my handicap is.
I think the handicap is widely misunderstood.
I agree.
I think if people think you're a certain handicap, then you're supposed to shoot like that over par every single time, and that's not what a handicap is. It's like an accumulative. It's like a formula. They accumulate like your 20 rounds, 20 rounds, and in whatever that is. Like you're only supposed to shoot your handicap, from my understanding. You're only supposed to shoot your handicap like once every 20 rounds.
Right.
And I think people, like, if you hear somebody's like a single digit or whatever the case would be, you're supposed to shoot all the time. No, that's not what that
I don't
is.
know that it's like 1 out of 20 rounds, but I have heard that, like, I think it's like 20% of the time. Yeah, 20% of the time you would shoot what. So if my handicap's 18, that means that 20% of the time I'm going to shoot a 90. And my normal rounds are mostly going to be in the mid 90s, which is where they are. And then sometimes I'll play Spyglass and I'll shoot a 113, and I'll have 4 double transfusions on the back 9 and just kind of give up. That sometimes that happens, and that's the beauty of the handicap system.
I recently got introduced to transfusions. Hell of a drink.
Very good drink.
Never drank it before. We was in the last tournament, and the last day, if you don't make the cut, they put you in a scramble for money. And had a transfusion. I was like, this is where it's at.
Have you heard of a water hazard? That's the new one that's taken the internet by storm.
No, what is
it's
that?
Vodka, blue,
Powerade or
Gatorade, a little bit of lemonade, and a little bit of Sprite.
That sounds fire, actually. Water hazard. All right, I'm gonna try that one out.
There's also one other bit of news today. I don't know if I want to cover it or not. Allegations of 2 pilots meowing and barking at each other.
I just saw this since we've been recording.
At Reagan National Airport in Washington, D.C. Sometimes you just gotta like have some fun.
Yeah.
So like are pilots not supposed to joke around?
No, correct. Actually, they're not.
Like, what's the worst thing that could happen at Reagan Airport if a pilot's not paying attention?
Was that where the crash
was? Yeah. Or as Hank would say, Reagan National Airport.
Does he say that?
He thought that Ronald Reagan was Ronald Reagan. It's okay.
Whatever.
That means that he's learned that word by reading it, which actually is a feather in his cap. Okay, well that does it for macrodosing today.
Well, we have an interview.
Yeah, we have an interview coming up with Ben Mckenzie. Everyone Is Lying to You for Money is the name of his film. And his friend Dave, he's going to join us as well. Before we get to this interview, it's brought to you by Stella Blue Coffee. It's more than just great coffee. It's coffee with a purpose. I've got my Stella Blue right here. I drank it during the interview with Ben. It's delicious. I had the espresso sweet cream today. And they've got a new initiative, We Brew to Rescue. It's a nationwide campaign using proceeds from our new ready-to-drink cans, just like this one, to fund 1,000 pet adoptions. Every year you crack open, or every can you crack open helps a real pet find a real home. It's that simple. Made with 100% Colombian coffee, each 11-ounce can delivers smooth, drinkable energy. It's got a boost of protein. Available in espresso cafe mocha and espresso sweet cream. Built for mornings, long days, and everything in between. Drink Stella Blue. Fuel your day. Help save a pet's life. You can follow our progress throughout the campaign by watching the adoption tracker right on our site. Grab yours at StellaBlueCoffee.com. It's also available at Amazon and select retailers nationwide. And now here is Ben Mckenzie and Dave. Okay, we welcome on a very special guest. Actually, 2 very special guests of Macrodosing. It's Ben Mckenzie. You might recognize him as the guy from Gotham. And then his good friend Dave. Dave's also in the movie that Ben just put out. It's called Everyone Is Lying to You for Money. It's about crypto. It's about his journey through the crypto underbelly and I guess the overbelly, like some mainstream stuff in there. But they join Macrodosing today to talk about the film. And fellas, it's good to see you guys.
Hey, good to be here.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
I tried to make it a point to not introduce you, Ben, as the guy from the OC.
Dude, you nailed it. I mean, until now.
Until now. Yeah, we'll delete this part. But but yeah, I watched the movie last night. Big T's seen it as well. Arian, I don't know if you had a chance to take a look at the screener for it. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done, well put together, made a lot of sense. It kind of echoed a lot of the things that I've been feeling about the crypto space for the last 10, 12 years. It's a really interesting topic because the more you learn about it, it almost feels like the dumber you feel. Like it becomes so convoluted. I think intentionally so in a lot of the crypto space. But you present it in a way that's pretty easy to parse and understand. You talk to some of the big players in the industry. So I guess let's go to the beginning, and maybe you can explain to us, to our audience, why you decided to really investigate cryptocurrency and the people that are involved in it.
Yeah, well, it started with Dave. Dave came to me. Dave, you can jump in anytime you want, buddy. I'm going to tell my version of the story, and then I want you to tell your version. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So 2020, the pandemic hits, and Dave comes to me. He's like, you got to buy Bitcoin, dude. And I was like, what is it? And I don't remember exactly what you said.
I'm pretty sure it's like, I don't know.
Okay. All right. Fair. Then I'm like, why are you putting your money into it? It's like, it's going up. It was going up. The celebrities were selling it. But Dave and I have a history. And Dave, do you want to tell the story of
Sure. Ben loves to say that I gave him the worst financial advice of his life.
All right, that's overblown. You're right.
It's a little overblown.
Okay, all right.
You took a stock tip from a kid who was a struggling actor living in your basement, essentially.
In my guest house, not my basement. I'm not torturing you.
In your guest house.
Jesus.
Yeah, so there was a stock. I had met a guy at a wedding. It was called Oxygen Biotherapeutics.
Don't say the name of the stock, dude.
Oh, well, okay,
all right,
sorry.
All right.
I'm not media trained, guys. I apologize. But, it's not like I presented a 10K. I didn't do a balance sheet review. None of that. It was just, hey, this kid knew the CEO. They said they were going to get some government contracts, and it was gonna blow up. And so I said, hey, Ben, if you want in, now's the time to get in. Didn't come to fruition. And Ben has never let me hear the end of it.
We lost money.
Yeah.
You lost money.
You lost money. I didn't have money to lose. I lost a little bit.
You put money into it.
Yeah, but not OC money.
Okay. All right. But relative to your net worth, might have actually been more.
Sure. It was, percentage basis. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, my takeaway from this is that I love Dave. I do love you. He and I have been buddies since college. We went to University of Virginia together. But also, I wasn't necessarily going to take financial advice from you, Dave. And so that's
not financial advice, but fair enough.
Okay. All right. It's stock tip.
I mean, you could have talked to your business manager.
It's true. My business manager was like, what are you doing? So anyway, Dave came back to me in 2020 and was like, you should buy Bitcoin. And that I have a degree in economics from UVA, and I hadn't used it in showbiz because nobody wants to hear about the dismal science over the craft service table. But I was excited or fascinated by it. I just couldn't stop looking at it. I also love true crime. I'm a big true crime guy. I love what I call stupid crime, where the criminals are sort of obviously committing the crimes and turning on each other, sort of Coen Brothers-esque crime. And crypto seemed to have a lot of that. So I started looking into it. Ended up decided I wanted to write a book. Weirdly, I decided to write a book first instead of a movie. Reached out to a journalist, pitched him on the idea. We started reporting on it, and I turned a camera on in the middle of writing this book, and just documented all the crazy stuff that I saw.
Okay. Have you had anybody come up to you and be like, I like the book better than the movie?
Nah, no one has said that yet. I'm sure I will get that. Book did pretty well. It was a New York Times bestseller, wasn't it, Dave?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. Anyway, it was the book did great, and then the movie is fun. The movie's much more. I could really dork out on the book. It's a 300-page book about economics and stuff, so I could really dork out there. The movie is popular entertainment. It's sort of like a comedy about how stupid all this stuff is. So, tight hour and a half. I think it's pretty funny. Dave's hilarious in it. And my more famous wife is in it, Marina Baccarin from Sheriff Country and Deadpool and Gotham and other things. And even Jerry Butler did a cameo for me, which was nice. So yeah, it's a fun movie. I hope people like it. They have been liking it. I hope they continue to like it.
You had some really interesting interviews. You got access to Sam Bankman-Fried from FTX, rocking the risk management shirt right now. I like that's a great shirt. I don't know how much you had to pay for that one on eBay, or if that's like a one of one that you made yourself. But that's a quality shirt. But you got an interview with Sam Bankman-Fried before he was convicted and went to prison, all that stuff. How did you get that interview? It says in the movie that you just DM'd him. Why do you think he wanted to talk to you?
Yeah, I couldn't figure that out for the longest time because it wasn't like we were hiding the ball. He agreed almost immediately with no preconditions to like a sit-down interview on camera. This guy who's supposedly like a billionaire, like that never happens. And Jacob Silverman wrote the book with me. We were very obviously critical of the industry. In our Twitter bios, it said, writing a book about crypto and fraud.
Yeah.
And so like, why was he going to talk to us? I couldn't figure it out. I only sort of now understand it as, or my guess is, obviously I don't know what's in his head or was in his head, but I studied up on the psychology of fraudsters and talked to this guy, Dan Davis, who wrote a great book called Lying for Money about how frauds work and how fraudsters think. And one of the things that he pointed out is that fraudsters, they're sort of like method actors. They consider themselves legitimate businessmen. And they often start out that way. Like Bernie Madoff, legitimate businessman until he started an investment firm and he started stealing people's money. And Sam started off as like, he was at Jane Street, this Wall Street firm. Ostensibly this like genius billionaire guy. I think, in fact, according to his public statements, he still believes he's innocent. He still says, "Oh no, we weren't insolvent. We just didn't have the money at the time," which begs the question: does he understand the word insolvency?
Yeah.
But he thinks he's innocent, and so he was like happy to talk to me. I don't think it went that well for him, but I guess I'll let the audience be the judge.
Yeah, he seemed extremely nervous, and that might just be how he operates on a day-to-day basis. But he seemed like he wasn't ready to answer any question. He was like scared of the questions that were being asked. So while I was watching, I was like, what was the reason that this guy had? Like, did he think that this was going to be the PR hit for him to start digging his way out of this hole that he's created for himself? But so in addition to SBF, you talked to a lot of people. I got kind of a big picture question for you. The name of the movie, Everyone Was Lying to You for Money. Do you think that everything involved in the crypto space is ultimately fraudulent?
No, there's also crime. There's a lot of crime. It's everything from money laundering, tax evasion, sanctions evasion, child sexual abuse material. We found out in the recent Epstein files that Jeffrey Epstein was a secret funder of Bitcoin core development through the MIT Media Lab, which is the group of programmers that maintain Bitcoin's operating system. So this is 2015, so a long time ago, before 90% of the guys who are into Bitcoin now even knew it existed. So, I think we need to grapple with that, and we need to ask a question of like, is it worth it? Because there's a lot of criminal activity. To give you a sense of the size, a crypto company estimated last year that $154 billion of illicit activity, criminal activity, was facilitated by cryptocurrency. That's $154 billion in 1 year alone. And that's an estimate from a crypto company. So I'm going to guess that's probably on the low end of the estimation. It's a lot of crime. So there's crime, and then there's speculation, betting that crypto is going to go up or down. And that's what I would characterize as gambling.
Mm-hmm. In the film, and I feel kind of stupid that I'd never really like put this together. You make the claim that a lot of crypto's increase in value has come from people that are invested in crypto, then buying their own crypto at higher prices, driving the price up. Like I'd always seen the speculative aspect being like people who are crypto evangelists, as they call themselves, wanting to generate a lot of interest out in the public that maybe have not heard of whatever coin they're trying to hawk. And then just by like pumping that up, then they get out later, like a more traditional pump and dump. But you make the claim that I think 90 to 95% of crypto value, I'm not sure if you said crypto or Bitcoin, So maybe you can help me out on that one. But 90 to 95% of that value increase has come from people that already own the coin, buying their own coin to drive the price up at higher prices.
I made that claim, or somebody else in the movie made that claim? I don't remember making that claim. Are you talking about the guy, Alex Mckenzie, who said only 10% of the money in crypto is real? Are you talking about that? Or
it might have been, yeah. I'm not sure if you made the claim directly, but in the movie there was like a 90% of the value has come from the speculation of people that are pumping their own money into.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember saying that, but in the movie I do interview this guy, Alex Mckenzie, who was running a firm called Celsius. I'm drinking a Celsius in his honor.
Mm-hmm.
Not the same company. He was running a crypto company, and he's now in jail. He was running a Ponzi scheme. And Alex said to me that only 10% of the money in crypto is real, that the rest is speculation. So that was a claim by a guy who's now in jail for doing what he said other people are doing. So his words, not mine.
Kind of shocking that somebody that was like invested in it that much would say that, right? Like I don't. If anything, I think that makes the claim more believable that this guy is saying.
Agreed. And then I asked Sam Bankman-Fried about that. I was like, Alex said 10 to 15% is real, and he was like, yeah, that sounds about right. And I was like, look, we all know that like markets are not perfectly liquid, right? Like the stock market's not perfectly liquid. You couldn't sell, I don't know how much Apple is worth collectively, but you can't sell hundreds of billions of dollars worth of stock in a single day, right? Mm-hmm. So we know there is a certain amount of like, it's speculation, it's leverage, it's people borrowing money in order to invest. It's just that crypto takes this to like a whole other degree. Like they were offering retail traders, regular guys on the biggest exchange, Binance, they were offering them 125 to 1 leverage, meaning like for every dollar you're gambling, you're borrowing 125, which sounds awesome, right? When it's going up, you're making so much money, at least on the screen, but it goes down, you lose it just as fast, and you're just like immediately liquidated. There's no margin call. And, in my experience and in terms of like looking at the facts, sure, some guys are going to win at this game, but most of them are going to lose. It's like playing at an unregulated and licensed casino. You know what I mean? Like you're going to, even when you win, sometimes you lose because you take your chips to the teller to cash out into real money and the teller window is closed. That happens in crypto all the time. The exchange is shut down and you just can't get your money out.
Right. It also seems to me like this industry more so than almost any other has a big time, I'm trying to think of the right word for it. I've always called it like the hit by a bus risk. So like if you got one person that's super important to their company, and then if that person is just like going out for lunch and they get into a car accident, then what happens to that company? It seems like a lot of the major players in crypto, and it has been for some time now, they have that risk where it's like if the head of whatever project this is, if something happens to them, if they die or if they just like drop off the grid entirely, the whole thing is fucked. And every investor that's put money into it is ultimately going to be shit out of luck. Is that something that you've also noticed as you've been doing these interviews?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of these companies are actually very small. Sam's company was quite small. It was just him and a bunch of other young 20-something-year-olds in the Bahamas. And yeah, to give you a sense of how like sloppily run these companies are. I mean, FTX was like lying. I was like the one of the largest crypto companies out there when I interviewed Sam in 2022. And yet we learned in the the legal proceedings against him and the bankruptcy proceedings that they were running their accounting software. They were running their accounting on QuickBooks. Like they didn't have like professional, like shit that I would do, you know what I mean? Or like some tiny small company would use, no offense to QuickBooks, but like I don't think they had an HR department. I don't think that it just wasn't a well-run thing. They had a trading firm called Alameda Research, as well as an exchange, FTX. They were operating on the same floor in this building in the Bahamas. And Sam's quote unquote ex-girlfriend was running the trading firm and Sam was running the exchange. And it's like, dude, come on. That's such an obvious conflict of interest. That wouldn't be allowed in a regulated market.
Yeah. Yeah. Big T, what do you have?
Yeah. So Ben, we have a number of crypto guys that work here. And I was talking to one of them yesterday, and I told him we were interviewing you and about the movie and everything. And he was like, "Oh well, I'm sure this guy knows more than every bank in the world or something." And his I would say he's very fanatical about crypto. But I don't find that attitude, but the people you talk to in the movie and just people I encounter, I think that's pretty common. I think like everybody that is in on crypto, it's like their main number one thing in their life. I don't find there to be many casual crypto enthusiasts. Why do you think that is? Why do you think in order to be a crypto guy, like you have to be so all in on it?
Yeah, I think there was a moment in 2021, 2022 when the celebrities were hawking it and a lot of regular people didn't really know what it was, but they saw ads for it constantly and they put money on it. Most of them lost that money or lost a fraction, a significant percentage of that money. And so a lot of those people have left. But what's left is the hardcore group of guys who really, really believe in it and often have a lot invested in it, not just financially, but psychologically. And to them, it is, I interviewed victims of the Celsius scam. And I'm just trying to understand these guys and like relate to them. And I do. I talked to a guy who was working construction in Texas, the state I grew up in. And I asked him why he put money into Celsius. He was like, I just wanted to make a little extra money so I could spend more time with my daughter. And I felt that when I lost the money, like I felt like I let her down. And like he's crying, I'm crying, you're crying, everybody's crying. I care about these guys. I'm actually on their side. They may not be able to see it. That's okay. But I then go at the end of the movie to ask all these same guys, do you still believe in cryptocurrency, even though you've lost all this money in Celsius? Every single one of them said yes. Like I didn't have to edit it. It's all yes. It's all like, no, I think the more they lose, the more they have to believe. And I'm sure a lot of the guys who believe in it have won because they bought it way early. But if your argument is, well, it's not a Ponzi scheme because if you bought in early, you would have done well. That's a feature of a Ponzi scheme. That's how Ponzi schemes work, right? That's how a multi-level marketing scheme works. It's a pyramid scheme. The people at the top start. If you get in early, you're making money off all the people below you. But it's a pyramid. So the largest number of people are at the bottom, and those people lose. So to your friend's point, like, oh, sorry.
Oh, well, no, I was just going to say that was going to be part of my next question, which is like the crypto lovers tout all these use cases for it that never seem to come to fruition, and it just kind of exists as a commodity. And it floats up and down. It's been up at 100. Bitcoin's been at 100 grand. It's been at 25, whatever. So whatever constitutes anyone being right or wrong about Bitcoin, as long as it just kind of exists as a stock, more or less.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, I'm not trying to put like a moral judgment on it, other than I would say the money that the retail public puts into this provides the liquidity for the thing to be worth something, which gives it value to criminals so that they can use it to commit crimes or to get paid for committing crimes. So I do think people that invest in crypto should consider some of, like, you can't just hand wave away all the crime and say, oh, well, there's a lot of crime in the regulated market and the dollar is used for crime. You're like, yes, obviously, but come on, man. Like, what are we talking about? Because it's hard to use crypto for good. You can, it's a tool. So like I heard about a woman in Afghanistan. She can't get banking under the Taliban because she's a woman. So she's paying her employees. She's running a business. She's paying them in crypto. Like, cool, great. That's good. We like that, right? But then if you're going to take that, you have to accept all the bad stuff too, if you're being intellectually honest about the whole thing. So I just have found in my experience that most people lose money, and some people lose everything. And it's far more useful for crime than it is for, doing good.
Arian, what do you got?
Do you find, I mean, you kind of answered this, but like, because what I always viewed it as, I don't say anti-crypto, but we never bought it. Like, we was always skeptical about it from its inception. I just don't find any currency that is so flimsy that can go up and down that could be useful in an everyday market to the average, worker. But what I did find interesting was the technology behind it, right? And I don't know enough about that technology to know if it's good or bad. But the encryption to me I feel like there is some kind of utility in that in the future. I don't know if that is, usable in our markets.
Right.
But do you guys find any kind of like,
yeah, I could. Yeah, I would like to.
the actual...
Yeah, I'd like to talk about the technology because I think the advocates, will talk about blockchain, and 90% of the people, actually, a lot of the guys who sell it or who are selling it don't understand it, in my opinion. But like, definitely people in the regular public don't understand what blockchain is. So blockchain is just it's a ledger, just a way of recording transactions. And what's neat about it is you're obscuring your identity when you're transacting. So it's a pseudonymous ledger, not anonymous, but pseudonymous. You don't know which wallets, they call them wallets, these accounts are interacting on the blockchain. So cool, that's kind of interesting. But blockchain, you'll notice, is not used by really any businesses outside of the cryptocurrency industry. Like, it's very hard to find businesses who use blockchain, and the reason is it sucks. It's bad tech. It's been around for 35 years. It goes back to 1991. Stuart Haber and Scott Stornetta, working at Bell Labs, building off the work of cryptographers like David Chong, who I interviewed for the book. And, it's kind of a neat thing, but to give you a sense of the limitations of blockchain, Bitcoin can only process 5 to 7 transactions a second. Visa can do 24,000. Bitcoin cannot scale as a payments method because of the tech, because of the way this thing called a consensus algorithm works inside of Bitcoin. You can build systems on top of Bitcoin to make the thing go faster, but then you're violating the purity of the blockchain, right? Or the purity of Bitcoin. So even Sam Bankman-Fried, when I interviewed him, admitted that Bitcoin was never going to work as a global payment system. So the tech, blockchain is building off a thing that is actually useful, which is public key encryption. Public key encryption allows you to buy stuff online and not have your credit card information hacked. It's obscuring the identity of like who you're sending, your money to that's running through a bank, right? But it's not a pseudonymous ledger. Like, inside, you get a bill from your credit card company saying what you bought, and on the other side, the merchant has a similar record of the transaction. So public key encryption is vital to our modern economy, but public key encryption has been around since the 1970s and is used in everything, or so many things, and blockchain really isn't. So the tech story, to me, I'm sorry, it's bullshit, in my opinion. Sorry, I don't know if I can curse.
Yeah. Fuck, shit. You can say whatever. Yeah.
Sweet. Awesome. Sweet. Oh man, this is going to change everything. Finally, I can talk about my favorite cryptocurrency, Cum Rocket.
Oh yeah. There was a cum bubble.
Yeah.
We were almost investors years ago, remember?
Yeah.
We did an episode on crypto years and years ago, and we found the rocket, and we tried to invest, but like the website to buy it was super convoluted, and I don't think we ended up doing it. But
dude, you should have gone in. It was squirting to the moon.
It was, yeah. It was up there. Now it's at 0 now.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, did not see that coming.
So here's another question that I have. It's probably pretty easy to answer, but I just want to get your take on it. Is, if the technology isn't all that unique, isn't all that usable, what prompted the boom?
Yeah.
Like, what was it that made everybody go crazy for this shit?
Because it's like a story as old as time. It's a get-rich-quick scheme. I mean, at least by the time it entered the public in 2021, when, Dave and I were talking, it was like all the celebrities were selling it. It was the most famous people on earth telling you should buy this stuff. It was Matt Damon saying, "What are you, a pussy? Buy crypto." Like, it was really, right? Fortune favors the brave. Like, don't you want to be like Marco Polo? Or you remember that commercial with all this grandiose stuff? Like, don't you want to be like an astronaut? Gamble on some crypto. And the ads were everywhere. That was that Super Bowl that had all the crypto ads everywhere. So I think it was really that story, Arian. I think that's the essence of it. Is you too can get rich quick for free. And they just changed the terms around and kind of cloaked it in the story of technology that nobody could really define. Because these guys are not cryptographers, right? They're like regular guys putting money into something, hoping to make money off of it. Good, great, awesome. I don't have any problem with that. I'm just trying to make sure investors are protected, that like the truth gets out and these things are treated what I think they should be treated as securities, as investments. And the industry does not want that. They really don't want that because securities law is predicated on disclosure. You need to know who you're giving your money to and what they're doing with the money. And crypto really doesn't want that. So I'm just trying to, advocate for how I see it.
With the
where is this my last question because it's one of those lines. Where are we at legislatively with regulating this?
We're in a bad place. Last year, from my position as a skeptic anyway, last year the House and Senate passed and Trump signed into law a thing called the Genius Act, which if you know anything about this Congress and it's called the Genius Act, you know it has to be stupid. And it's a bill that allows among other things, allows corporations to issue their own money in the form of stable coins, these cryptocurrencies. And so we're talking about literal corporate money. Like it'll probably roll out later this year or next year. Meta has been wanting to do this forever. So it's like, you might have to go to Meta. If you're on Meta's platform and you're trying to like buy something, you might have to convert your money into Meta bucks. And, it's very clear that the corporations would benefit from this, right? Because they get to collect interest on all that money that they're holding of yours. But how do the customers, how does the public benefit? I don't think they do at all. So that bill already passed. That's really bad. And I think that kind of highlights what we're talking about with crypto. Like if the money doesn't come from the government, I know we all have our bone to pick with the government. I get it. I have some myself. But like if the money doesn't come from the government, where's it come from? The crypto companies don't like to talk about the crypto organizations don't like to talk about this, but the answer is corporations. It's World Liberty Financial when it comes to Trump, but it's also Bitcoin. The majority of Bitcoin that are mined today are mined by multi-billion-dollar corporations, many of which are publicly traded. So if corporate money seems like a good idea to you, then okay, but doesn't sound like a good idea to me, and I don't think it sounds like a good idea to the regular public. So why did all these politicians vote for it? And by the way, a lot of Democrats voted for it too, 100 Democrats. So it wasn't just the Republicans. Well, the crypto lobby has hundreds of millions of dollars to spend on infecting and affecting our political process. And they've been targeting senators and congresspeople who speak out against the industry. I mean, I testified to the Senate Banking Committee in 2022. They spent $40 million trying to defeat and succeeded defeating Sherrod Brown, who was the chairman of that committee in Ohio. And they boosted this guy, Bernie Moreno, who was a pro crypto guy. So they have an enormous amount of money to spend. And I think a lot of the Democrats are afraid of them and or beholden to them.
With your interview with SBF and talking about FTX in particular, the business that they had with the separation between the hedge fund arm, the Alameda Research, and then FTX, the exchange, if they hadn't had inserted that one line of code that allowed SBF to extract deposits and then kick them over to the investment arm, if that wasn't there, did they have a solvent business? Did they have anything that would have been profitable if they hadn't committed that fraud?
No, and in fact, the reason they had to steal the money was that they were bad at trading. It's really ironic. Like I assumed they were making money hand over fist. I didn't know what they were doing, but if you own a trading firm and an exchange, like surely you're able to like make money on this thing, right? I mean, you're trading on insider knowledge. Shouldn't you be able to crush it? And instead, I mean, I sat at the trial when Sam was charged with these crimes in the Southern District of New York. Instead, what we saw in court records is they were losing money, even in a booming market, or definitely when the market started crashing in 2022, Alameda was. And that's why they needed to borrow/steal their customers' assets on the exchange. So that's kind of interesting too, because that's actually a common trait in fraudsters is like, it doesn't start off, they don't always start off trying to steal the money. Like it often starts off, they make a mistake. Like you read about some guy on some obscure desk, right? Like he's trading like Thai convertible bonds and he just like overbets in the wrong way and he loses a little money. And then he doesn't want to admit it to his boss. So he bets bigger and he loses more. And then like this thing spirals out of control and all of a sudden he's arrested for, gambling away $10 billion on a desk that wasn't supposed to handle a fraction of it. So sometimes the fraud happens just because like you make a mistake and then you won't admit it, and the lie just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Would it be fair to say that this ultimately, every crypto company ultimately boils down to which ones are best at marketing themselves? Is it just
Yes.
a big marketing shell game where it's like an attention economy? And if you can get the most attention on whatever it is your product is, or whatever your coin is, whatever your exchange is, that is the ultimate goal, to see who can drive as many eyes, and then from that, as many wallets to your product as possible. It has nothing to do with the actual product behind what you're marketing.
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty fair statement. I mean, the Bitcoin advocates will say one of the sayings in crypto is like, Bitcoin has no marketing department, because we don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto was. And so it's like this decentralized currency, right? But as I talk about in the movie, because you're not really investing in a thing that has any like correlation to any real world asset, it's just lines of computer code stored on blockchains. Like, what are you investing in? I would say you're investing in the story of Bitcoin, that like Bitcoin is worth something, and you're investing in the belief of other people that it's worth something. And so it's not that Bitcoin has no marketing department, it's that Bitcoin is only marketing. Like, all crypto is really just convincing you to give your real money over in exchange for this thing they're calling a currency that isn't really a currency. And you might win and you might lose. But that's why they spend so much money on marketing. That's why, like, crypto.com Arena, and it was FTX Arena before they went kablooey, and that's why they spend money on politicians, is to rig the game so they can have different rules for themselves. They don't have to be treated like banks or whatever.
Big T, what else you got?
Well, this is a hard pivot. I don't know if we want to save it for the end, but you played flag football with Drew Brees growing up?
Yeah.
How was he awesome?
He was awesome. I remember we went to the same middle school, and we were like, we knew he was a good athlete, but like, I remember that first day we went to the park to like throw the ball around, and the dude was just like, shoo. Like, his dad, I think his dad was a QB at Baylor. But Drew was just, a phenomenal athlete. And by the way, great guy, like really, really good dude. And not the tallest guy in the world, right? Like 6'1",
Oh,
so
no.
it's like really
shorter.
Maybe shorter,
like
yeah.
5'9".
Yeah.
Well, you're 5'10", Ben.
Exactly. I'm there's a joke in the movie about that. No, I'm 5'8", 5'9" on a good day.
He's listed at 6 foot, so he's 5'10".
Yeah, Drew Brees.
Yeah.
I've heard 5'10" is fair height for him.
That sounds about right.
Drew
Drew and I played the same middle school team, and then he went to Westlake, which is a powerhouse school in Austin, and I went to Austin High, and they just beat the living crap out of us every year. It was a lot of fun.
I did have another question about the movie. You went to a lot of these Bitcoin conventions and crypto conventions. Did you just want to blow your head off at those things? It feels like that's the most annoying place on earth to be.
It's pretty annoying. You end up drinking a lot. You drink a lot.
Yeah.
But everyone's drinking a lot. So, it's kind of like a trade show, right? All these dudes, it is almost exclusively dudes. I mean, there's hot girls trying to sell you,
right,
passing out free drinks or whatever. But like, the people that are buying and selling are mainly dudes. Everyone just gets really drunk. Yeah, it was fun though. I mean, look, again, I know it sounds like I'm hating on all the people that are investing in it. I'm really not. I think we have to laugh at the things that are actually funny, because otherwise we're not really being honest about it. But I am actually trying to protect them. But I also like refuse to tolerate the bullshit. And so if someone's gonna like, try to shame me from talking about it or whatever, Dave knows this. I can't let it go. I can't let anything go.
You haven't changed since college. You've always been guy who explains inflation at parties, so I'm not surprised.
That's a pretty cool guy to have at a party.
Yeah, sometimes.
Like, this beer was cheaper 5 years ago.
I think one of the funniest things that came out of this whole thing, which is it's not the same as Bitcoin, but it's kind of under the same umbrella, which is the NFTs.
Yeah.
The monkey picture shit was in real time. I was fucking making fun of people about this shit. I was like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. And I still can't. They were selling for like millions of dollars for a fucking monkey picture, dog. I was laughing.
It is hilarious.
I think there was an 88 minutes poster for an NFT that went pretty high right there.
All right, guys, that's a deep cut. Dave is making fun of a movie that I did with the legendary Al Pacino.
It's a great movie.
I'm not going to defend the movie. The movie is fine, whatever. And you're doing a deep cut against me as an NFT. Dave, I didn't issue that 88 minutes NFT.
We don't know that.
Did I? Yeah.
We don't know that.
NFTs are amazing. So NFTs are, the like digital ownership of the thing is like, how can you create scarcity out of something that you could just right click and save because it's just a two-dimensional image, right? So I see you, Aaron. It's like, he's like, yeah, bro. The answer is you can't. I mean, they're saying like, oh, it's an NFT, so it's a record on the blockchain. It's like, well, what is that? So really an NFT is like a receipt, like, oh, I own this, a receipt for a link to a JPEG. It's like, all right, man, if you want to spend millions on that, like, go for it. And in econ, when these things happen, there's a term for it, which is called greater fool theory, where like basically the price of a speculative asset like rises so far beyond any real world value that it has that the price is really determined by like greater fools. Like you're buying it hoping to sell it to a greater fool than yourself. And like this game can go on for a very long time, but ultimately someone at the end of it, is left the biggest idiot holding the bag. And so there's a lot of that. There's also a lot of money laundering in crypto, shocker. And there's a lot of money laundering in the art world. So there may have been a lot of that was like inflating the prices at the time.
I remember was it the Jimmy Fallon show when Paris Hilton went on there to unveil her ape? That conversation should go down. We should put that in the Library of Congress for the stupidest conversation to ever happen on television. It's like watching it now, your brain will melt out of your ear when you listen to Jimmy Fallon just like go completely like he just fell in love with Paris Hilton's ape that she.
But so do you guys know the story behind that? The story behind that, they're being sued right now because the allegation is, again, it's an allegation, that the celebs were given the NFTs. They didn't pay for them. They were given them, and they're hawking them on TV, not disclosing that they were given the thing. I mean, guys, that's just so wrong. That's so wrong. Oh, the other funny thing about that, apparently they gave the audience NFTs. Like they were like, hey, and everyone gets not one of their NFTs that was valuable, but quote unquote valuable, but like some crappy NFT. And I just laugh my ass off thinking about like some like middle-aged couple that have traveled from like Ohio to New York to see the Tonight Show, the famous Tonight Show. And they go and they're watching Paris Hilton and Jimmy Fallon hawk this ridiculousness. And they get a JPEG or link to a JPEG as their like parting gift. I think that's really funny.
Wasn't the argument for those that they were on a blockchain? Wasn't that part of it? They were like, you own this because nobody can access the whatever, the code source.
Yeah, and then you would just like some guy would be talking about that and hyping it up on Twitter or whatever, and you would just like right click and save the same thing and post it.
Right.
And they would lose their minds. They'd lose their minds, No, you can't do that. It's like, well, I can, dude. I just did. Like, you're gonna sue me? Anyway, it's a pretty stupid world.
There was a story that came out last week about the creator of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto. The New York Times claims that they've tracked down the actual person behind this. Have you had a chance to read that, and what do you think about it?
I've read it. The guy's Adam Back is his name. I don't think that it proves that he's Satoshi because there's no smoking gun that I see, no incontrovertible evidence. There's a lot of like, I guess you call it circumstantial evidence that might lead you to him. And he certainly is a good candidate for it. He was the first person that Satoshi emailed. Satoshi is this like made up person. Like there's not a real Satoshi Nakamoto behind this. Somebody just created a pseudonym online and released this.
Have you seen The Last Dragon?
No.
You ever seen The Last Dragon with Bruce Leroy?
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, sure. Many years ago.
Yeah, Bruce Leroy. It was the master. Who's the master? Take me to the master.
Yeah.
It was just some fortune cookie machine.
Yeah, exactly.
Same vibe.
It's kind of like that. The funny thing about this guy, so the guy that they think that the Times is saying is Satoshi is this guy Adam Back. He's a British cryptographer. I've never met Adam. I've never interviewed him. But one thing I know about Adam is that he hates me. He has referred to me as a crisis actor. Which is funny because I am an actor and it is a crisis. He's so close to getting it. But it's interesting. He hates me. I can't imagine why he would hate me. Another fun fact about Adam Back is that in the Epstein files, we found out that his company, Blockstream, received an investment from Jeffrey Epstein. So, only the best people in crypto.
Well, there were a lot of people who thought Epstein might be Satoshi Nakamoto, right? At some point,
the dates don't work for that in terms of the emails. It appears that Epstein, I did a whole piece on this for a video I did for an organization called More Perfect Union, so people can watch that online if they want. It's like 3 minutes long. It appears that Epstein found out about crypto around 2011, something like that, through a guy named Brock Pierce, who's a hilarious character, a former child actor from the Mighty Ducks, who is now a crypto entrepreneur. So if he found out about it in 2011, then he couldn't have been Satoshi because the Bitcoin white paper came out in 2008. But what is clear is that Epstein was into this at a very early stage. The crypto market in 2015 was really, really small. And he came in to like fund the system and keep it going through the MIT Media Lab secretly, because he was already a registered sex offender. So they didn't want to, promote that.
That's fair. That's very fair. Have you met anybody? I guess let me ask it this way. Your advice, because you are not a financial advisor, your advice seems to just be careful, and you're kind of spreading the word about how everybody should think twice, should do due diligence, be aware of the risks and the historical downside to investing in a lot of these coins and technology. But ultimately, that's not going to work on like a grand scale to protect people, right? Like I think you're doing a good job. You're raising awareness, but massive picture, it can't be one guy being like, "Hey, you should be careful." That's going to be the thing that makes a difference. So I feel like it does have to come eventually from the government, from government regulations. What do you think? What would your solution be to if you were to write a law? How would the government be able to protect its own citizens from potential fraud when it comes to crypto?
Protecting them from fraud, I think, is actually pretty straightforward. If I was king for a day, I would just classify all of the speculative cryptocurrencies. I include Bitcoin, Ethereum, Trump coin, Melania coin, Cumrocket, all of them, and classify them as securities. And then they have to follow securities laws. They have to do disclosures. They have to do quarterly reports, things like that. And people will have the information to judge for themselves whether they want to invest or not. I am not saying outlaw crypto because I don't think that would work. If you outlawed it, I think it would just go back to where it was before and just be this underground thing. So that's one half of the equation. The other half of the equation is these things called stable coins. Do you guys know? They're like they're cryptos that are pegged 1-to-1 with real currencies like the US dollar.
Right.
So like their price never changes, or at least supposedly, right? And so it's sort of like a black market dollar. It's a dollar that doesn't have to go through the banking system. And it is used for an enormous amount of crime. That 154 billion that I cited earlier, like most of that is via stable coins, because criminals like it because they don't have to deal with the volatility of Bitcoin or these other cryptocurrencies. They can just send something that's value remains constant anywhere in the world and avoid the banks. And so it's used for things. I mean, it's used right now, the Strait of Hormuz, the tankers that are going through, at least some of them are paying the Iranians their fee in crypto because the Iranians are shut out of the banking system. So for the stable coins, they're claiming to be worth $1, but they're not backed by the full faith and credit of the United States government. I think this stuff is really dangerous. And I think we should consider, if it's calling itself $1 and it's not $1, isn't that a counterfeit dollar? I do not think the stablecoin thing scares me more than the speculative stuff, because if that gets into our banking system and we mix the fake money with the real money, we could have like another subprime crisis. In a recession, imagine a recession scenario where the market corrects and crypto crashes again, but this time it's tied into our banking system through the stablecoins. That could be like a recipe for disaster.
That was going to be another question that I had. So I don't own crypto. I actually think that might not be accurate. I think I might still own some Doge that I bought in 2020 when I didn't know what it was, and do not have any idea like how much I have in it. But it's not a lot. But as a person that's not heavily leveraged in crypto, I don't have like any real savings or real money tied into it. Like, what is the danger to those of us that don't take risks investing in this type of speculation? What are the risks to us if bad things were to happen in the crypto industry?
Yeah, good question. Well, first of all, good on you. And I don't offer people financial advice. But if pressed, all I say is, as you said before, just don't gamble with money you can't afford to lose, right? Just be careful, right? Just assume or imagine a scenario where whatever money you put in, you lose it. Are you okay? Does that affect your day? Are you, other than are you a little bit sad? Does it change your life? And if it does, my humble suggestion is don't take that risk. In terms of what could happen to the rest of us, even those of us that aren't really into crypto, if a scenario like the one I described plays out, where like there's a recession and the market corrects and crypto crashes, and it's all tied into the banking system, basically it could create another subprime crisis where we have to bail all these guys out again, which is hilarious because crypto was set up ostensibly in a reaction to the subprime crisis. So they would have effectively recreated the same scenario. And that would really, infuriate me, and it would just be wrong. So that's, I think, the real danger. At this point, if you own an index fund, like a broad index fund, you actually do have some exposure to crypto already because there's all these crypto companies, that are publicly traded. And so you have a tiny bit of exposure now, but the systemic risk is like if it all goes kablooey and we bail them out.
Dave, do you have any questions for us?
Do I have any questions for you guys?
Open up the floor.
No, I mean,
for Arian.
Just
you have
Arian.
A question. You have a question. I could tell.
I don't have a question related.
Football.
No offense. I was asleep half the time, Ben. Arian, big fan. PFT, big fan. Just happy to be here. Not really sure why I'm here, but glad to be here.
Dave, I'm a big fan of yours.
Be funny. Yeah. What's that?
I'm a big fan of Dave's. I'm a Dave guy.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I thought Dave stole every scene that he was in the film.
I appreciate that.
He did, and he does. He's fantastic in the movie. I can say as the director.
Yeah. I think, at risk of repeating myself earlier when I don't think I was being recorded, I have to get this one in. I do think you got the title wrong. I think it should have been Ben Won't Shut the Fuck Up About His Econ Degree. And we'll just leave it at that.
I think Ben, as a UVA grad, he just did this movie so that he could show his diploma off.
Yeah, he's kind of like the CrossFit guy who definitely lets you know he does CrossFit.
Yeah. Yeah, Ben, I lived in Charlottesville for about 2 years, and then I lived in Austin, Texas for about 10 years as well. Oh, wow. So we've had a little bit of crossover there. What's your go-to queso in Austin?
I haven't lived in Austin for a long time, so I'm probably way out of the loop. We would go to places like Matzo Rancho and stuff like that. There's a classic, I don't know that it's like the hippest place in the world. No offense to Mats. Yeah, I don't know. What's your jam?
Matzo Rancho is a good answer. I like Magnolia Cafe.
Yes,
you get the Magmud with the black refried beans that's mixed into it.
That's better. Yours is better than mine.
Kirby Lane queso is a staple as well.
Kirby Lane's fantastic. And I love Kirby Lane.
Make your way up to Tyson's Tacos if you haven't been there yet. Just off Airport Boulevard, get the crispy duck taco. I like to tell people that I invented it, but ultimately I was like one of their first customers, and they said if you eat 20 tacos, we'll name a taco after you. And so I ate 20 tacos in about 5 days, and I was like, you should do like a Peking duck style taco. And then they put like a week later, they had a crispy duck taco on the menu, and it's awesome. You should try it.
That sounds fantastic. Did you get credit?
No. It was one of those things where like something beautiful came into this world that I had a small part in playing, and I feel like it's. I'm just happy that it's there. I don't need the credit for it, except for right now when I'm talking about it publicly on a podcast and demanding credit for it. But besides that, I don't need any credit for it.
And I'm like you. I just really need the credit, like a lot. You know what I mean? I just definitely need the credit all the time.
We know.
As Dave knows. Nah, that's a good call. What's your barbecue jam down there?
It's a very basic answer. I do love the Salt Lick. It's hit or miss. I've been there a couple times where it hasn't been up to par. But the new one, maybe one of my new favorite restaurants in the entire country. It's going to be Leroy and Lewis in South Congress. And it's just so good. It's like a fast casual barbecue place.
I think they have a Michelin star.
They have a Michelin star, and one of our guys here at Barstool went down and like worked with them for a couple days, just like learning the barbecue trade. But it's probably the best barbecue in the country, in my opinion, right now. So go check it
gotta
out.
check that out.
Ben, that is where it is appropriate to use the word delicious. FYI.
You don't like delicious?
He was on Jon Stewart or something the other day. And what did you say? You said like all these guys that are Trump's buddies getting theirs. It's just delicious. It's like,
delicious.
Dude, what are you talking about?
What? I can't have nice things. I can't enjoy nice things.
You can if you wear a scarf.
Go to Leroy and Lewis and you won't regret it. It's
okay.
It's the absolute best.
I'm actually going to Austin next week for the movie, so I'll check it out. Thanks for the recommendation.
Yeah. It's you're in for a treat. I wish I could go there like right now for lunch, except I'd probably need a nap afterwards. All right. Well, we have any other questions for the fellas? This is really cool. Thank you guys for joining us. I did enjoy the movie. I think you did a good job. Again, like kind of putting into words a lot of the things that I've been feeling for the last, like in my gut for the last 8 or 9 years or 10 years or however long it's been that I've been like casually observing the crypto space.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate it. Good job.
Thank you. We're going up to Boston. We'll be in Boston on, I think it's Friday, because I know you guys are a Boston area, right? Are you guys north?
We're in Chicago. So we have one office that's in New York, and then
I'm sorry.
we're out
I'm
in
thinking
Chicago.
of the original Barstool. Okay,
Yeah.
My bad. I was going to invite Dave because he's from Boston, but unfortunately the show is sold out.
Yeah.
All 400.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
I can't.
It's a real bummer.
Can't invite my good buddy. Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry. The movie's just too popular, but otherwise I would.
I'll catch it on YouTube.
Pirate it. Yeah. Download it illegally, Dave.
Yeah. Anyway, guys. Yeah, this has been awesome. Thank you for having us on. Super fun.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. All right. That was Ben and Dave. Thank you guys for listening to Macrodosing, and we will see you guys next week. Love you guys.
Goodbye.